according to the president. Amid the reopening of the strait, oil prices have plunged about 12%. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
Patrick DeHaan over at Gas Buddy says he does expect that in the next couple of days, we could go back under the $4 a gallon mark for gas. He is saying by Memorial Day, we could see the national average back around $3.65 a gallon. That would be a dramatic move lower from where we are now, above $4 a gallon.
Singer David is now in custody in Los Angeles in connection to the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The LAPD found her body last year in the trunk of David's Tesla. Sources tell ABC that the medical examiner determined that teen's death to have been a homicide.
21-year-old David, whose full name is David Burke, is now being held without bail. Police had said Rivas had likely been dead for weeks before her body was found. Senior officials tell ABC News David's arrest comes after months of compiling evidence. Attorneys for the singer say in a statement, the actual evidence in this case will show that David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and he was not the cause of her death, adding, we will vigorously defend David's innocence.
ABC's Trevor Ault and the House and the Senate have agreed to extend the time before the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act expires by 10 days. That law allows for the U.S. to monitor conversations of foreign nationals. You're listening to ABC News.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STATION25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. A St. Louis County Circuit Judge sided with St. Louis County Executive Sam Page in his lawsuit against the County Council. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story.
St. Louis County Executive Sam Page will be going on his international trade mission to London as planned. Yesterday, a judge approved a temporary restraining order that will prevent the St. Louis County Council and its chair, Rita Hurd-Days, from assuming power while Page travels abroad. Page took legal action earlier this week to challenge the council's plan to assume leadership in his absence. Page had said if the county council had been granted authority while he was away, he wouldn't go on the trip. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
Meantime, St. Louis County Executive Sam Page is pitching a plan to purchase a Creve Coeur building to house the headquarters for St. Louis County government. The vacant building being considered is on Olive at Lindbergh, which used to house SSM employees. St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer will deliver her State of the City address tonight. It will begin at 6:40 this evening in the City Rotunda. The City of St. Louis will hold a final open house for the Baden and North Point neighborhood plan. It will feature interactive stations where attendees can review and provide feedback on the draft neighborhood plan. The open house will be held on April 21st from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Walnut Park Library. There will also be a Planning Commission meeting on May 13th. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. More than 1,000 acres of vacant farmland is up for sale in Hazelwood, with marketers pitching it as a potential site for a data center, large-scale manufacturing, or industrial warehouse. It's just south of the Missouri River. The 1,008-acre property, branded as the Wilco Industrial Center at 4815 Aubuchon Road, is one of the largest contiguous tracts of vacant land for sale in St. Louis County in recent years. The asking price, $45 million. And now this look at the markets is brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturday mornings 9 to 11. Wall Street jumps to end the week. Dow Jones up 868 points to close at 49,447. NASDAQ up 366 points to finish at 24,468. S&P 500 up 85 to close at 7,126. Now let's check sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Sobe, the Cardinals are on the road in Houston tonight to take on the Astros. The Birds are 500 away from home so far this year. And the Blues closed out the regular season with a 5-3 win at Utah. Robert Thomas tallied his second hat trick of the year as he finishes with 25 goals on the season. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. An accident on 270 south before 55 is causing a stop and go back up to Gravois. There's a crash on 64 west past Timberlake Manor. And in Illinois, 64 east is congested from 255 to 157. This traffic report is brought to you by the Quarry at Crystal Springs Golf Course. The Quarry at Crystal Springs delivers a convenient and affordable golf course that is a true test of any player's game. 4 sets of tees will allow players of all abilities to choose the course length that will best suit their enjoyment. Visit them today. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather today, periods of sun and clouds, high of 86. Tonight, increasing clouds, storms starting around 9, possibly turning severe, overnight low of 50. Tomorrow, rain clears early, then sunny skies, much cooler, high of 60. And then Sunday, sunny, high of 68. Warm up on Monday, high of 71. And highs in the low to mid-80s the rest of the week. Right now it's 84 degrees. The time is 3:07. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Can I get serious for a moment? Something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is my front yard and taking care of your front yard. Because when you drive by someone's house and it's full of weeds, you think to yourself, oh man, it's very, very simple. You know how much I love to pretend to be a yard dork. You know what I use? Fertilome. I go to fertilome.com and I type in my zip code, and a whole host of local independent lawn and garden dealers show up. I buy the crabgrass preventer plus lawn food. It's the spring application. I get it down on my yard as soon as possible, and that greens up my yard and keeps the weeds away. So it makes me look like I know what I'm doing. But really, all I'm doing is getting Fertilome and putting it on my front yard. And that will take care of my yard for many, many, many weeks, and it go a long way to having the greenest yard in the block. So this spring, you want to green up your yard and get rid of the weeds? It all starts at Fertilome or fertilome.com.
Learned about Heidi.
But cockroaches were the least of her problems. Heidi had to fight for every opportunity.
You know, Heidi is, even though she's very kind of sweet and innocent,
Heidi wanted out of the slum, and her agent wasn't doing enough.
Oh my God, they moved Heidi right next to me now.
Although Heidi seems serene,
she's a bit naughty.
She uses an ancient folk remedy to help calm her down.
Heidi is back.
We did it. We made it through another work week. Happy Friday, everybody. Heidi Glaus here with Josh Gilbert, Connor McCarthy. Bob has the afternoon off, but we have got a lot to get to. First up, we're going to talk to Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken, Provost, the Kicking with the Rickens. It's on here every Sunday at 3 o'clock on the Big 550. And so if you haven't heard them yet, we want to introduce you to them, and they're going to offer some retirement advice. And I've got a couple of questions about that. I think the number one question for most people is healthcare. how do you plan for health care, especially if you're going to retire before you can get Medicare? So they'll be joining us here at 3:30. And if you have a question about retirement, you can always text us on the KTRS text line 84126, and we'll ask that question for you. We'll also check in with ABC's business and economics reporter Mason Leith, all of the ways the war in Iran is affecting the economy here in the States. So we'll get an update on that. In the 4 o'clock, Mike Ward will join us, and we'll talk a little wine, as we usually do. We'll talk a little sports with Brendan Weesey coming up in the 4 o'clock as well. And then we will meet with probably the most famous people in St. Louis. I'm talking about the people that put Dogtown pizza in most of our freezers.
Rick and Meredith Shaper.
Uh-huh.
And it's really interesting. Rick just had a conversation with his son about passing on the business, and his son doesn't necessarily want to continue on in the pizza business. He got an international business degree. He wants to go live overseas. Can't really run a pizza empire.
No.
If you're not even in the country. So the question that Rick and his son posed to each other is, what happens now? And so they did that on a different outlet, but I listened to it. It was kind of a podcast, and I listened to it, and it was really interesting. But
their whole story has been interesting. I mean, Rick started making pizzas there in the neighborhood just for friends, and everybody's like, this is great.
It was a kitchen table business. And now they have a whole factory in North City. So we'll catch up with those two and see how.
I'm looking forward to that.
What direction is Dogtown going in?
We'll do that at about 5:10. We'll also check in with Royal Oaks, ABC News legal analyst, and what's going on with this whole White House ballroom project. Is it on? Is it off? We've got some entertainment news, and then we'll wrap this show up with some randoms. I got a text from my sister-in-law's partner today. I guess she was outside mowing and did not know, but had accidentally hit 911 3 times in a row. And all of a sudden, the sheriff showed up.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, you think, seriously? And then I recall we were in Michigan in the RV, and it was my mom and dad and our friends Patty and Cheryl, and then friends of ours, but really closer friends to my mom and dad. They actually all taught together back in the, 70s in New Madrid, Mr. Steve and Miss V, and we were all sitting around our bonfire, and Miss V had done the same thing a couple of times, and we thought we turned it off fast enough after she realized that she had called 911, and all of a sudden a police car rolls up into our bonfire. We had to apologize for that. So I'm wondering on the text line, have you guys ever done it?
Yeah, we did a prank one when I was a kid. We were just like, just dial and hang up real quick. They won't know it's us. We were using the home phone.
Right.
And they sent a squad car by. And,
whoop, whoop. Yeah. That was pretty good.
I have never done that, in grade school, much like Connor. We fancied a prank or two, but I never did that. But
I was too scared to do that prank.
I know.
I thought you'd end up paying for it.
The fire alarm
pole.
No.
No.
That one's a little more serious.
Yeah, I was
that might set
say.
off the sprinklers.
And I mean, there's a pretty big penalty that comes with doing that.
But I would think, because I've had my phone I don't mow the lawn with my phone in my pocket anymore because I did the exact same thing. I didn't call 911.
But you were.
I called my mom and I called some friends and I had to text them back and say, oh, there's a pocket dial.
Oops.
But I got to imagine if they pick up the phone, they're going to hear the lawnmower. But when you're the police and 911, frankly, thank you for coming by.
Right, to make sure that everything's okay.
What if I had a heart attack and I left the lawnmower going? Mm-hmm. I guess when I release the handle, it stops. But
well, it depends on how new your mower is. If you're going old school, they didn't have those things. It was a real push mower, not the kind that would self-propel.
Yeah.
As that goes.
Have you ever used, when I worked at Handyman Hardware back in North County in high school, they would sell even the the push with the wheel that
the
turned
metal.
and the.
I have never used one of those, but there are a couple people in Lafayette Square that just have a small patch of grass and they use it, which is kind of cool.
I mean, does it work? Does it work better? Does it work worse?
I had one for a while. I would rather cut it with like scissors. I felt like I would get more done.
Yeah.
And when
it's old school.
Yeah, when you're using a gas or electric, I'm not too keen on getting the blades sharpened. I don't think I have a yard that's big enough to get the blades sharpened. But they say you got to sharpen them once a summer.
I remember my dad used to always take the blades off of the mower and rinse them and sharpen them and all of that.
Well, when you got that Leave It to Beaver mower, I guess the blade sharpened needs to really be a thing, because if it's rusty and it's not cutting, like Connor said, you better be out there with a pair of scissors.
Well, you guys joke about the pair of scissors, but guess it was child labor back in the day. And from probably 8 years old to, 13, I don't know what age it stopped, we didn't have a weed eater. And we had a fence that would go around the perimeter of our house. We were on 2 dead ends. And so the fence went to the field on this side and to the field on that side. And we were the weed eater with scissors.
No.
We would go around every fence post with a pair of scissors and cut the
grass.
Now, the push mower, we were never allowed to use the push mower. Even when I was 18 years old, I never used the push mower. My dad would always do the trimming around everything, but we had a riding lawnmower because the yard was pretty big. So we would do the riding, Dad would do the push, and then we would do the trimming around the fence post.
And this is no judging, but I think if you don't do the trimmer, it looks just so sloppy.
It does.
It looks so sloppy.
I'll tell you the other thing that I love. I mean, if we had a driveway, it wasn't complete unless you used the edger and really got that deep edge.
Oh, my dad would get out there with the edger.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
No.
In my opinion.
No.
You just take the weed eater and you tilt it a little bit. And
you can do that now, but back in the day, you couldn't.
Oh, there's somebody down the street from us in Newtown that clearly has an edger, because their edge is, whoa.
We have one in our garage, but it's the old school where it is really just the metal wheel, if you will.
Yeah, be careful.
And the wooden pole attached.
Really?
And you walk it up and down.
No, my dad had a 3-wheeler with the blade as the fourth wheel.
That's much better.
Wow.
But yeah,
that sounds dangerous.
It's a tough one, but I do like it when it's all perfectly crisp and clean. I'm old enough to remember that cutting wigs with the scissors as well. I love that. So, but I said, Heidi, it's a shame I do it so much when we're talking about dialing other people. The real mowers are used on golf courses still, yet motorized. Really?
Someone said I'm old enough to remember cutting weeds with scissors as well. I think if I were you guys, and that was my task, I would get a job working at the Sunday shop.
Well, that's cute, Josh.
And buy a trimmer so that I didn't have to get down on my hands and knees anymore.
This is how much you know. There was no Sunday shop in New Madrid. There was no place to work as
what was that restaurant?
Child.
Ruby's? Is that what it was called?
Rosie's. But you're not working there at 10.
No, you're not?
No.
They don't need people to take the trash out at Rosie's?
Well, then you still got to get there, and somebody's got to drop you off, and no, it wasn't a thing.
Here's what I said right before we got on the air. I said, I cannot wait to get out in my yard and do some yard work. And then Heidi burst my bubble.
Well, it's just they're calling for some pretty big storms tonight, overnight.
I know it's going to cool off. The rain's going to bring some coolness in, but I thought it was dry over the weekend.
No, tomorrow it's like a
downpour.
Yeah, 95%. Now, Sunday, it looks good, but I would say if you're looking at, maybe it's overnight and it kind of clears off.
Well, it says prime time starts around 7 o'clock.
Tonight?
So right around prime time.
Tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
7 to 2 a.m. is when it says
cancel my golf cart ride tonight.
Okay, mine says 10 p.m., 35
All right, regardless.
Maybe you can get it done Sunday.
I got to mow. It'll
Okay.
be my first mow of the year.
I was looking at ours and felt like we needed to do that
First
today
mow.
too.
I think it's sacrilegious to mow before Easter.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I know my sister's already mowed 2 or 3 times.
I want to make sure it gets a real long, head of hair before I mow it the first
Tell the
time.
truth. Maybe the neighbors have said it's time to mow.
No. Maybe I'll even wait until next weekend. The big mow. The
Do you
first
get
mow.
self-conscious about what the neighbors think of your yard?
No, because I get self-conscious myself about it.
Yeah.
Because who would have thought if
You're
I would
applying the pressure by yourself.
I would have asked my 18-year-old self, you think you'll get self-conscious about your yard one day? I would have said, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Who do you think we are?
Several people weighing in. It's pouring in Baldwin, already raining in Kirkwood. It's pouring down rain right now in Wildwood.
Already?
Well, there's like a system that moves through here, and
I
then
think there was a surprise because I got a text. We're on a text chain with a friend that we call Mollyologist. Her name is Molly, but she's always on top of the weather. And so she just said, are you already at the studio? Be safe. This is a pop-up storm that nobody saw coming.
Oh.
Somebody else said it's pouring in Winsville, thunder and lightning in Fenton.
Am I crazy? Did it already pass by here?
I don't know if this is in
it
the line or
raining
not.
right now?
Somebody said they've mowed 4 times already. So I'm wondering how long your grass is.
It's not that long.
Okay.
I put new grass
like
seed
a
down.
jungle.
You don't want to mow on top of fresh.
No, that's true.
Fresh sprouts.
Have you gone to the Google, as McGraw says, to see what you should be doing to your yard, or you just kind of now feel like you've got it figured out?
I kind of wing it. Winging it.
Yeah.
But I am putting, I should get a delivery today of a new drip line to hang up for my ferns.
Oh.
Because I just do not get out there and water them enough. And I want the ferns to be burst. What I'm trying to do, Heidi, is I'm trying to win Garden of the Month.
Oh, okay.
Out in Newtown. And it's eluded me these past 5 years. But we're going to get it this year.
And you think the ferns will be
I think the bursting ferns.
Okay.
I'm going to put up some lattice work and see if I can get some vines to grow up.
Oof, I hate lettuce.
Well, wait till you see mine.
Okay. You really like lettuce.
Well, David Sherwood's retired now. I'll bring him over.
Yeah. Somebody says if you don't want to mow, don't fertilize. If you want pretty grass, then fertilize, but then you have to mow. Somebody said they've mowed 4 times. Get going, Josh. If your grass blades look torn instead of cut, you need to sharpen the blades. I think a lot of people really take pride in their yards. My former work husband was so good. I mean, he had it, aerated and watered and fertilized. It was always beautiful. And then he came up with a device, and he actually was selling it for quite a while, which it was a roller that would attach to the back of your push mower. So you could do the lines like you see at Busch Stadium in the outfield.
Oh,
Because all that is, which is really interesting, is bending the blades of grass one way or the other.
And that the crop circles that everyone says the aliens land in, that's just flattening down in a certain direction. So does he still have that device? I want.
He probably does have a few of them still left.
Like my front yard is 4 strips back and forth. So I'll get nice.
Well, that would definitely win you.
Garden of the Month.
Garden of the Month.
Somebody texted us yesterday or 2 days ago, and they said, I just retired from FSL, and they're sitting on a beach in Florida right now. They texted it again today. I just retired from FSL, and then told us a story about Dogtown Pizza. And I'm still trying to figure out what FSL means.
I think it's forklift. I was Googling something. Is it Forklift St. Louis, maybe?
All right, here's the story. Here's the context clues, because we have been treating this.
Forklifts of St. Louis is full
FSL.
line of
We've been treating
material
this
handling equipment.
like it was a vanity plate, and we're trying to understand.
And so please tell us what it is.
Yeah, but they said one day at work, we were taking forklift training, and they brought lunch to us. One of the guys said that they couldn't eat the pizza that they brought in, and they said, why not? You don't like it? And he goes, no, I just can't eat it. What, are you allergic to pizza? He said, no, you guys got emos, and my mom and dad own Dogtown Pizza.
No way! Oh, that is a great story.
So we'll have to ask Rick and Meredith.
Yeah.
Have any of your sons worked at a forklift store?
Yeah, that is too funny. Well, you guys know what we have coming up, and hopefully you'll be a part of it on this Friday afternoon. You're listening to Heidi Glaus and Josh Gilbert, minus Bob Ramsey today, but also with Connor on the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. You know how spring works in St. Louis. One week you're running the furnace, the next week you're flipping on the air conditioner. It's weather whiplash, and your HVAC system feels it too. That's why spring is the perfect time to have the experts at Premier Heating and Cooling check things out. Their technicians go through 5 years of training, well beyond industry standards. So when they perform a tune-up, they're making sure your system is running safely, efficiently, and ready for whatever the next St. Louis weather swing brings. If your furnace or air conditioner is older or starting to struggle, Premier can help with that too. They offer financing options that make replacing your system far more manageable, and a new unit can mean better comfort and lower energy bills all year long. So whether it's a quick tune-up or time for an upgrade, call the team that knows how to handle St. Louis weather. 636-916-1122, premierheatingcooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Sunday, April 26th is packed with fun. When the Cardinals welcome the Seattle Mariners, you can score a classic chain-stitch Cardinals hat presented by Coca-Cola. Plus, kids 12 and under receive a Fredbird Hall of Fame ring presented by the Pasta House Company. And get the chance to run the bases after the game. Giveaways, post-game fun, and Cardinals baseball all in one big Sunday showdown. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Matthew Libertor. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
Every Sunday home game is a kids' Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fredbird and games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family-favorite activities. Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/KidsSunday.
Spring is here, and that means you're going to be spending more time outside and enjoying the outdoors. But your deck, you've been thinking about doing something with that deck for years. Don't wait any longer. Go see my friends over there at Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. It's right there. It's been there a long time. At Outdoor Living, the showroom has a great style, great designs. You can get all sorts of options. They'll come out to your house. They'll do a site visit, and when you're ready, they'll build you a deck with metal framing, composite decking, and they will put a 50-year warranty on that deck. That's right. You don't have to worry about staining. You don't have to worry about warping or anything else. All you have to worry about is how much fun you're going to have. They've also got pergolas and fences and patio furniture. Yeah, they got patio furniture at Outdoor Living. Check out the showroom, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. It looks like the old Denny's. You're in the right place. Or online, outdoorlivinginc.com for all of your patio needs and a 50-year warranty on that new deck. OutdoorLivingInc.com.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this Saturday afternoon at 3 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Mrs. Weiland, why don't you go ahead and read the top line for me?
I should.
Next line.
Get my retirement. What's that?
Checked, Mrs. Weiland. Get your retirement checked.
Planning retirement on your own doesn't pass the eye test. Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost at Ricken Financial can help bring your retirement into focus. Call 314-207-6211. Ricken Financial, making sure your retirement vision is 2020.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
The Frank and Jill Show.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer on the next Frank and Jill Show. Greg Willard in to talk about all kinds of things happening in our country right now we need to know about. Plus, Success St. Louis style, Brandon Williams, former pro football player, making a big difference for kids in our community.
Frank Cusimano and Jill Farmer, weekdays 10 to noon. Right here on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. Meep, meep.
It is already 3:30. It's a Friday, so people probably trying to cut out of work a little early. What's traffic look like, Captain Paul?
Heidi, we have 2 active crashes. An accident on 270 south before 55 is causing a stop and go back up to 44. There's a crash on 64 west past Timberlake Manor. 64 west is also congested from Kings Highway to McCausland and from 364 to the 6470 interchange where it's raining. 64 east bogs down around 170, and in Illinois, 64 east is congested from 255 to 157. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch or happy hour, or have the Rack House cater your next event with box lunches or buffets to accommodate groups of 10 to 200 people. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
You hear them here on the Big 550 every Sunday at 3, but we're kicking with the Rickens on this Friday afternoon. Jerry and Heidi are here to talk retirement. It is great to officially meet you.
So nice to meet you, Heidi.
I know. Isn't it weird when somebody
our
says...
fellow Heidis.
Yeah, and we spell it the same way, so that's good. So, to be clear, you're not a husband and wife team. You're not siblings. You are father and daughter.
And I'm the father.
Yeah.
I had questions.
Yeah, I know.
Wondering.
I never know in today's environment.
Okay. I want to know who came up with the name Kicking with the Rickens.
Actually, that was a friend of ours in the industry.
Yeah, our friend Kim was like, I just love kicking it with you. And then she was like, oh, what about kicking with the Rickens? I'm like,
in fact, her birthday
you
was
nailed
yesterday.
it.
Her birthday was
happy
yesterday.
Birthday, Kim.
Happy birthday, Kim.
Okay, so then, Heidi, does your husband get a little upset that you're, dropping your married name and going back to your maiden name?
You know what? He can get over it. He knew from day one that Ricken was a package deal because, it's the last name that my dad and I share, our business shares. My grandpa was the most important person that's ever been in my life, and I have that name with him too. But don't worry, Stephen, I still love you, and I do have Provost as a part of my name, hence the 2 last names. But
And I was reading about you guys, and you guys really love being Rickens. And you guys just seem like a really
we do.
tight family. There's other siblings who maybe work outside of the practice, but you guys work together, very tight-knit family. Is it weird for other employees when you guys probably shout at each other from across the room?
Well, you know what we did is we moved into a new office space recently last year, and we intentionally put our offices on opposite corners.
So now we yell at each other on Microsoft Teams.
Okay. That is too funny. So did you decide to go into business with your dad? Did you guys decide to open this together? How did the business come to be?
That's a funny story.
Would you like to? Yeah, you want to take it away or should I?
Why don't you take it away, Heidi?
So 16 years ago, my dad conned me into this business.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
As dads mostly do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I finished my degree in business, and then I was going into psych, and I thought I was going to be a grief counselor, and I'm doing all these things, and he's like, that's great, but when you're here at school, can you just help me out a little bit at the office? And I didn't even know what he did, but I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to work for you. And I was wrong. 16 years later, I'm here. Not only did I want to work for him, I wanted to work with him, and for about a decade or so, we've been partners in this, and
that's cool.
I'm really grateful for the time that I have with him, but also from the guidance I've gotten from him, because I've learned a whole lot.
I was going to say probably a different kind of respect.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and the learning goes both ways. I mean, I've learned a lot about how to relate to people because she has this, some psychology behind her, and that kind of thing. And I'm like, What?
Were you the reason she went into psychology?
Actually, I think it was primarily because of life events that she went into psychology.
I thought I wanted to be a grief counselor for kids after losing my oldest sister when I was 11 years old, and then helping other children who have lost their siblings to cancer through organizations that I volunteered for. But then I realized it was way too much to do that on a daily basis.
Yeah, it really does take it out of you, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I bet you have a guardian angel looking over this business.
Oh, yeah. Now I get to honor Meredith by having fun and laughing more with Dad and not just sitting here wallowing in grief every day, you know?
That's right. And her favorite color was purple, and hence the color of our business.
Look
purple.
at your shirt.
And my shirt is purple.
You got a nice purple gingham shirt with Rickon on the front of it.
That's right. That's right. With a little purple ribbon that I wear every day.
Oh,
Meredith.
I love that. So we've been talking a lot about you guys, and obviously you're so much fun, but let's talk a little bit about retirement. I mean, most of us dream of retirement, but when should we really start thinking about it and planning for it? Is there a certain 10 years out, 5 years out?
If you don't have a plan of any kind in place and you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, it's not too late, but it's time to definitely ensure that you have a plan. But there is no time too early or too late to start planning for retirement, because I had a meeting earlier today with someone who's not even 30 yet, but she wants to ensure that she's setting everything up that she's doing now for a successful future. And then I had a meeting again with someone who's in their late 60s who felt like it was too late, but it's never too late to begin the plan.
Yeah. I think the main concern for so many people is healthcare. Where do you even start planning for healthcare in this day and age?
Well, healthcare is an interesting thing, because I believe our healthcare system is broken, especially with respect to the insurance and how you get insurance. And if you don't work for a large employer that has a group plan, what do you do if you retire before age 65 when you're Medicare eligible? But there are plans out there, and you just need to know where the sources are to get those plans. They're not cheap by any means. So, and we have that discussion a lot. In fact, I had that discussion yesterday with someone who wanted to retire early, and they were 62, and they said, I think I'm going to retire at about 63. And I said, how about 63 and a half? And they looked at me like, why 63 and a half? Well, 63 and a half is kind of a magic age, because 65 is Medicare eligible, and COBRA is available for 18 months. So you could stay on your same plan. You have to pay for it, obviously, but you wouldn't have to change the plan, change the way you operate from a healthcare perspective. And that's important for a lot of people, is making sure that consistency in their health, especially, you don't have to change doctors. You don't have to change your medications. You don't have to change your pharmacy.
Absolutely.
That's a very disruptive thing for a lot of people. So there are options out there. You just have to know where to look.
So planning for retirement, you guys dabble in the finances. Got to make sure that I have enough to live to be 100. My grandma lived to be 92. Fingers crossed. Insurance, that's a big part of it. But what else would we be surprised that you guys have to deal with when trying to help people figure out when they can retire and how they can keep living in retirement?
I think the most surprising thing for everyone who comes to see us is the first question we ask has nothing to do with money. Really? Because we want to ensure that you know what your purpose is going to be every day. Because, I mean, think about those of us sitting in this room right here. We love what we do every single day, and it brings us joy. It feeds our soul. It's our purpose. If we didn't have this, what do you want to do with your time? So that's really the first question we ask on our starting point, because we need to ensure that the money is working towards that. Then we're going to look at, your income. How are we going to cover all of your income when you no longer have an employer paying you a paycheck? What do the expenses look like? We need to ensure your investments are matching your market risk. We're going to be doing some healthcare planning, like Dad mentioned, whether it's supplementing before Medicare or getting to that point in time, long-term care as well, because 7 out of 10 of us are going to need long-term care, and then estate planning, and probably the kicker that most people, their head just explodes when they think about this topic, and it's something that we try to make in plain English for you, and that's tax planning, to ensure that everything you do, you pay your fair share of tax. But we don't want to set you up to pay more than that. We want to ensure that everything is in the most tax-efficient manner possible for your financial future.
And taxes touch every part of our lives, even the ones we don't want them to. And if we don't have a tax plan, we don't have a plan. But my mom, when she retired, I think she's busier now than when she was working 40 hours.
Mine too.
My dad kind of got lost. Didn't know what he, like you said, didn't know what he was going to do, didn't know what to do with his time, putted around the house. He's in a good spot now, but boy, it was like, what's wrong with Dad? He just kind of lost, like you said, what's my purpose every day?
Well, and you also hear so many stories of people, dying after they retire because they really do lose kind of their purpose. That's a great point. We're talking to Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost, Kicking with the Rickens, which you can hear Sundays at 3 o'clock. I mean, there's so many questions when it comes to retirement, but what does a meeting look like with you guys? Just that initial kind of consultation.
Well, the first thing you do is when you contact us, you come into the office and we give you a hug. If you're not a hugger, you let us know. Yeah, but we're huggers.
I didn't get a hug, Jerry.
I did.
Okay, hold on.
And I got to say, Jerry, I'm a hugger too. Yeah.
I'm getting one before you leave.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
when you come see us, you also get to be greeted, if you'd like to be, by our office dog too.
What's the dog's name?
Bentley.
Dogs.
Oh my goodness.
So Bentley gets to hang out with us and Cassie, our office manager, too. But we'll grab you whatever you'd like to drink, non-alcoholic, of course, during our meeting. After hours, we can have a different discussion.
Yeah, when we're actually kicking.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we'll bring you in one of our office meeting rooms, and we're just going to sit down and get to know you. So ask a lot of questions about who you are, what you want to do with your time, what you love, what your family is like. And then we're going to dive into the nitty-gritty about the money and everything. But we want to ensure that we can help you. So we need to learn more about you so we can help.
I like that approach.
My parents are both teachers. My dad's got a pension.
That's a beautiful thing.
Isn't it?
Oh, my gosh. That's a beautiful thing.
They're gone now, right?
They are gone. They're like the
Except
dinosaur.
for those teachers.
Yeah, except for the teachers.
The current teachers.
Exactly. So pensions, it used to be you worked your entire life for a company for 40 years. And on Friday, they held a party for you. They gave you a gold watch, and they gave you this thing that kept on ticking your entire life, and that's called a pension. It paid month after month after month after month. Then, all of a sudden, the evolution of the 401k came into play, and the onus went from the companies being in charge of your retirement to you being responsible for your own retirement.
Yeah. That's a big change as far as that goes. And I think, growing up and you see how your parent, is treated and how they retire. And then you don't realize, wait a minute, I don't get that same benefit anymore. I mean, you really have to be educated about what you get starting out even at 20 or 30 with your first job.
Oh, yeah. And nowadays, who knows if the 20 or 30-year-olds are going to get Social Security, too. So the onus might be 100% on all of us for the future.
Heidi, I was just going to ask, do you guys plan with Social Security being a part of it these days, or do you take it out because we don't know?
We definitely plan for those who are in their retirement years or very close to it for Social Security to be a part of it, because while it is a broken system, 60% of retirees, or maybe a little bit more than that, stay above the poverty level because of their Social Security income. So we're going to have to fix that system because it's a large part of our economy. So for those who are near retirement or in retirement, we definitely plan for that. For those who are younger, our plans are going to involve, this will be a beautiful thing if it's here. If it's not, do we have a plan to weather that storm too?
Yeah. That's all great advice. You can hear Kicking with the Rickens here on the Big 550 every Sunday at 3. And if you want to set up an appointment, you can call 314-442-6476. You can also go online to rickenfinancial.com. You guys, this has been so much fun, and we've learned a little something. That's what it's all about.
Well, it's all about education. It's all about education. And if we can provide that education, we want you to make an informed decision because you don't want to go into retirement blind.
So true. Thank you guys so much.
Our pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for Kicking with the Rickens.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get serious for a moment? Something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is my front yard and taking care of your front yard. Because when you drive by someone's house and it's full of weeds, you think to yourself, oh man, it's very, very simple. You know how much I love to pretend to be a yard dork. You know what I use? Fertilome. I go to fertilome.com and I type in my zip code, and a whole host of local independent lawn and garden dealers show up. I buy the crabgrass preventer plus lawn food. It's the spring application. I get it down on my yard as soon as possible, and that greens up my yard and keeps the weeds away. So it makes me look like I know what I'm doing. But really, all I'm doing is getting Fertilome and putting it on my front yard. And that will take care of my yard for many, many, many weeks, and it go a long way to having the greenest yard in the block. So this spring, you want to green up your yard and get rid of the weeds? It all starts at Fertilome or Fertilome.com.
Julius Krasanik here, celebrating 54 years in this industry. My family owns Wholesale Siding Depot. That's WSDepot.com. Our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, and door experience. My grandson Elijah says,
Are you kidding me?
tired of companies that like to apply pressure to sell you high-priced fiberglass or wood windows? We offer the Anderson Fibrex family of windows in styles and colors, including black, at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? We sell truckloads of siding, windows, and doors from CertainTeed, Anderson, Viwinco, Provia, and other major brands, all at wholesale prices, while offering a free contractor referral service for your expert installation needs. Keep it local, family, and professional. Visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
Are you retired? Are you thinking about retiring? Who is helping you with retirement? Might be time to check out the show When Retirement Happens, hosted by Kevin Lloyd of Legacy Wealth Advisors. Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon on the Big 550 KTRS.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. It's that time of year. We are very busy. That means we're selling vehicles faster than I can acquire them. We're aggressively purchasing unique, interesting, and pristine vehicles. I love to buy Corvettes, Vipers, Porsches, and the like. We buy luxury and performance vehicles daily. Got one to sell? Call us or hop on our site. Owe money on it still? No problem. We'll make the payoff and cut you an equity check. I'll buy classics and motorcycles too. We'll even buy entire car collections. I'll come to you if it's easier. We make it quick and simple. Of course, I've got great ones to sell too. All hand-picked by me, thoroughly vetted and serviced. So if you're buying or selling, give us a call or visit our site today.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
This is Michael Baldy, president of Baldy Electric. On behalf of myself and my employees, we want to congratulate KTRS Radio on 30 years of broadcasting excellence. You are truly the talk of St. Louis. And to the loyal listeners, thank you for reaching out and letting Baldy Electric help you with your electrical needs.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Getting your weekday started the St. Louis way. It's the McGraw Show.
It's Call the Internet Monday. Dude, it's 420. But does it really mean anything if it's legal and no one cares? We'll find out on Monday, dude.
McGraw Millhaven, Rose Dalton, and Carl the Intern. Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Right here on your hometown station, the Big 550 KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, this should come as no surprise, but St. Louis's Forest Park named Top City Park by USA Today. You know, we've won this award several times, but I don't know if you realize this or not. 1,300 acres is what it covers, and we received the top honor in this year's 10 Best Readers' Choice Awards. We've been named Best City Park in America, I think, for the third time in just 5 years, which says something. And, of course, it is cool to be put in the national spotlight once again. But as everybody here knows, the Forest Park has so much to offer. You got biking and walking and running and boating and live theater. So it really is pretty cool that other people realize it as well. Something else that we have that we should be proud of is Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. I mean, it really is one of the best. And I can say that, you know, from firsthand experience because my 6-year-old godchild spent the first 9 weeks of her life there. And the care that she got, I mean, it's the reason that she is, I would say, walking around. She is running around and jumping and is sometimes a little terror, but she also, doesn't have a bag. It was some stomach issues, and they were able to go in and fix everything, and she is fantastic and rambunctious. I mean, Cardinal Glennon has some of the top doctors and nurses and surgeons and therapists, and people come from all over. It's not just Missouri and Illinois, all over for that treatment. But of course, some of that costs extra money to be able to stay on the cutting edge. They have to have money to get those, the latest and greatest pieces of equipment. And sometimes that comes through charity care. They never turn a child away either, which I think is really cool. So you can learn more about some of the things that Cardinal Glennon is doing, some of the fantastic success stories, or even make a donation at glennon.org. 10 minutes before 4 o'clock, let's get a check of traffic from Captain Paul. Things tend to get a little nasty when it starts raining. Are there any issues on the roads?
Yeah, Heidi, we have a crash that has been an issue for more than an hour. It's an accident on 270 south before 55, causing a stop and go back up to 44. The new estimated clearance time is 4:25. 270 south is heavy from 64 down to Big Bend. 64 west is congested from Kings Highway to McCausland. Also from Clarkson to Spirit of St. Louis Boulevard, and from 364 to the 6470 interchange. 64 east bogs down around 170, and in Illinois, 64 east is congested from 255 to 157. This traffic report is brought to you by Brown and Brown Attorneys at Law. Have you been hurt in a crash or on the job? Call Brown and Brown now for a free consultation. 314-333-3333. That's 314 all threes. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
The Iran war has been impacting the U.S. economy in both big and small ways. Mason Leith, ABC News business and economics reporter, joins us with the details. Hey, Mason.
Hey, how are you? Exactly like you were saying, the Iran war has been hitting the U.S. economy in ways we can feel every single day, from higher prices at the pump to broader inflation pressures tied to energy costs. But this morning, there is a major development, which is that after weeks of disruption, the Strait of Hormuz is now open. And this is already sending shockwaves through global markets in a really good way. Oil prices are coming down, fuel prices are plunging, and jet fuel is seeing the biggest relief of all. But what does this mean for American consumers? It means that relief is starting now. But here's the catch. It's not going to show up overnight. Shipping through the state remains very minimal right now, as the risk there has not disappeared. Hundreds of ships are still stuck in the Persian Gulf, and Iran's ports are still blocked. It's going to take weeks and months for everything to go back to normal. And if the fighting resumes, then all bets are off.
Wow, it is kind of crazy. And I think sometimes we forget that the war has an effect on us here in the United States. So already we can see gas prices dropping a bit.
Heidi, exactly. You're already seeing gas prices. They've dropped today, and they're continuing to drop, hopefully. I mean, it's impossible to predict, but hopefully they will continue to drop every single day into the foreseeable future. Even by Memorial Day, some economists have been telling me that consumers can start to see lower fuel costs with gas prices trending into the low $3 range for the summer, and then potentially even dipping below $3 by early fall.
Do we know what opened the straits this morning?
There was a concerted diplomatic effort by President Trump and his emissaries there, and then also the Iranian government. They were able to come to an agreement, and so basically Trump tweeted out this morning on X, as did the Iranian government, that the strait is now open. It basically coming after talks of the ceasefire that was put into effect on April 8th.
And was it the fact that they stopped fighting for the time being in Lebanon, or was it the fact that Europe is screaming we're running out of jet fuel?
That's a great question. Those are both big pieces of it. And, one of the good things, at least in part to the second thing that you're saying about the jet fuel, is that what economists are telling me is that now, because the strait has reopened, it's very, very good for that industry. And even they're hoping that by July 4th, the jet fuel crisis will resolve itself, which will be just in time for summer travel. So that's one of the benefits that opening the strait is really essential.
And Mason, we had heard prior to today, even with them opening the strait, things were going to kind of be slow to tick back. But if gas prices are already dropping, maybe it's not going to be quite as slow.
Yeah, that's a wonderful point, Heidi. So, basically the way that this works is that right now we're seeing the immediate shocks of the Strait of Hormuz, which is at its opening. The markets are very excited. They're very bullish. The S&P, I think, was up over 1,000 points today. And that's the immediate impact. Over the long term, it's really going to start steadying down. One of the famous, adages that economists use when they describe gas is that it goes up like a rocket and it comes down like a feather. So right now it's coming down, a little bit more significantly, but it's going to taper off into that feather-like decrease over the next few weeks.
Right, Mason, here in St. Louis, gas prices, I saw $3.82, which is almost 20 cents lower than it was yesterday. Mm-hmm. However, it's still $1 higher than it was before this whole thing began.
Absolutely. And, that was kind of one of the first places, because oil and diesel and gas, those prices were the first victims. They're very reactive to any sort of geopolitical risk around the world. So, the hope is that what economists have been telling me today is that, these prices now are slowly going to start to come down. Hopefully they'll be in the, dipping in the 3 range, low 3 range, mid 3 range throughout the summer. So obviously this is all speculative, because the biggest thing here is, if fighting for some reason does break out or the strait closes again, then everything is just going to shoot straight back up, which would be very bad for consumers.
So there are talks this weekend planned, and would we have a resolution to this by Monday, you think?
That's a wonderful, wonderful question. I mean, honestly, we can't really say right now. I mean, one of the important things that, we have to highlight is that right now, the ceasefire is a pause, not a complete resolution. Mm-hmm. It's reducing the immediate pressure on all of these markets, which is really, really good move. It's great news, but it doesn't remove the underlying risk. Everything depends on whether this ceasefire can become a permanent peace agreement. So, we're kind of in this wait and see window. So it's really impossible to say, but obviously, the best news for American consumers would be if this, ceasefire did become a permanent agreement.
Yeah. Mason Lee, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and keeping us in the loop.
Thank you so much for having me.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STATION25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lori Shoes on Manchester Road in Glendale is celebrating 75 years as a family-owned and operated traditional sit-and-fit shoe store with a dedicated team, including 3 on-staff podorthists. Lori Shoes has an unbelievable selection of thousands of pairs of shoes for men, women, and children with brands like Brooks, Hoka, New Balance, Birkenstock, Keen, and more. Lori's has been a great fit for St. Louis since 1951. Online at loriesshoes.com.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the control option mindset featuring the lifetime and generational income maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at the Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis, Ladue, Glen Carbon, University City, Edwardsville, Manchester, Wood River, Grafton, and the world.
Streaming live at KTRS.com.
Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Mike Tabusky. A spokesperson for Iran's foreign ministry says his country's enriched uranium isn't going to be transferred anywhere. It comes after President Trump told ABC News earlier today the U.S. will be working with Iran to remove their nuclear material and that it will be brought to the United States. This morning, both Iran's foreign minister and President Trump announced that the Strait of Hormuz is reopening, leading the S&P 500 to break 7,100 points for the first time ever this afternoon.
But the president also said that the U.S. naval blockade is still fully in effect until a deal with Iran is 100% complete. The president writing, quote, until such time as our transaction with Iran is 100% complete. The president then went on to say that this should move very quickly and that, quote, most of the points were already negotiated without elaborating further.
ABC's Selena Wang. U.S. and Iranian delegations could reconvene in the next few days to discuss ending the war in Iran. Meanwhile, in Lebanon, a 10-day ceasefire went into effect last night to end the fighting there. But today, the Lebanese Health Ministry reports one person was killed and 2 wounded in an Israeli strike on a motorcycle in southern Lebanon.
The ceasefire in Lebanon, of course, was a key Iranian demand in talks with the U.S. and would be part of a larger deal. But turning it into a lasting peace is going to be difficult. We have been here before. Hezbollah is highly unlikely to disarm, and Israeli forces look set to remain in the south of the country.
ABC News chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell there. The singer David is now behind bars, arrested in connection with the death of a teen girl whose body was found last year in the trunk of his car.
We are told that this is not an indictment from that grand jury. This is evidence being put together by the LAPD, and that they believe they have probable cause to make this arrest, and they will be presenting the evidence to the LA County District Attorney on Monday for the DA to decide on charges.
ABC's Alex Stone, you're listening to ABC News.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. The tent encampment outside a condemned South St. Louis apartment complex has been cleared, leaving people who were staying there with questions about what's next. This all unfolded on the 3600 block of Illinois Avenue, just off South Broadway in the Marine Villa neighborhood this morning. Tents lined a stretch of the street 2 weeks after St. Louis police raided the Concord apartments nearby. City officials started showing up at the location about 8 this morning. About 15 tents remain standing, with roughly 20 people still in them. The Wentzville Fire Protection District will be transporting the body of fallen fire captain Tommy Shine home today. Firefighters are traveling from Chicago to bring Shine's body to Pittman Funeral Home on Pittman Road in Wentzville. The public is invited to pay tribute to Shine by lining the sidewalks along Highway A to Pittman Funeral Home along Wentzville Parkway between 4 and 5 this afternoon. Pam Hupp's murder trial is being delayed until next year. That was the ruling yesterday by Judge Joseph Rathert, who says he wants both a fair trial and a tight schedule. Rathert is the new judge in the case, and he says the delay allows both sides more time to prepare. The trial was supposed to begin in August. Hupp is charged in the 2011 murder of her friend Betsy Faria. Hupp is already serving a life sentence in the murder of Louis Gumpenberger. Prosecutors say Hupp killed Gumpenberger in a bizarre plot to try to frame Russ Faria in the murder of his wife. Finding a way to eliminate Missouri state personal income tax has been a priority for Governor Mike Kehoe. More from KTRS's Steve Potter.
The plan to replace the personal income tax with a broader sales tax was approved this week by Senate Republicans, who say it will allow Missourians to spend their money the way they want. Thursday on The McGraw Show, State Representative Steve Butts of St. Louis called it a foolish idea.
So it's not a tax cut in any way, shape, or form, but it is a shifting of the tax burden from what I honestly believe income taxes to be the fairest way of taxing.
If approved in a final Missouri House vote, the issue would go before voters later this year as a constitutional amendment. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Another law firm is leaving downtown St. Louis. Morgan & Morgan is relocating to Clayton later this year. It has operated an office along the 200 block of North Broadway since 2021. And now this look at the markets is brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturday mornings 9 to 11. Positive words from the president of Iran and President Trump had Wall Street jumping to end the week. Dow Jones up 869 points to close at 49,447. NASDAQ up 366 to finish at 24,468. S&P 500 sets a record, going up 85 points to close above 7,100 for the first time ever, finishing at 7,126. Now let's check sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Sobe, the Cardinals are on the road in Houston tonight to take on the Astros. The Birds are 500 away from home so far this year. And former Mizzou point guard Anthony Robinson has landed at Florida State. Robinson is a Tallahassee native and will have 1 year of eligibility remaining. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. The latest is a crash on 270 south past Big Bend with traffic backed up to 64. An accident on 270 south before 55 has been cleared. There's a crash on 64 east at Prospect. We have an accident on 64 west at Spirit of St. Louis Boulevard causing a stop-and-go jam back to Clarkson. 64 west is congested from Kings Highway to McCausland and from 364 to the 6470 interchange. 64 east bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend, and in Illinois, 64 east is congested from 255 to 157. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather tonight, cloudy. Spot storms turn heavier around 9, possibly turning severe. Overnight low of 50. Tomorrow, rain clears early, then sunny skies, much cooler, high of 60. Sunday, sunny, high of 68, and then a warm-up on Monday with a high of 71, and highs in the low to mid-80s the rest of the week. Right now, we have 83 degrees. The time is 4:08. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Friday afternoon, April 17th, fast casual lobster roll brand making its St. Louis debut. Cousins Maine Lobster, known for authentic Maine lobster, will have its grand opening with the brand's newest food truck at Second Shift Brewing next weekend, Saturday, April 25th. The food truck will be open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. The seafood chain was founded in 2012 and appeared on Shark Tank, where it partnered with Barbara Cochran. It is known for its iconic lobster rolls, lobster tail, and crispy tots. Franchisees Sam and Tommy Ramadan, a father-son duo, are leading the expansion here in St. Louis. They said from the moment we experienced Cousins Maine Lobster, we were hooked, not just on the food, but on the energy and connection it creates. So I am looking forward to this. I've heard nothing but great things because they've done little pop-ups over the last couple of years, and it's always been very, very popular.
And the lobster tacos is drawing Maya.
All of it. You had me at lobster.
You had me at, food? All right, listen to this. Here's another. We've been talking, I've mentioned several stories about Lego thefts, high-priced items. Alex Stone told us a story a couple months ago about a Lego theft. Lego ring of people stealing Legos. Here's a new one, and this is actually quite brilliant, if not completely stupid. A man by the name of Jarrell Augustine, 28 years old, California man, is accused of defrauding Target stores by, here was the plan, swapping out collectible toy Legos, taking these high-priced Legos out of the box, and replacing it with dry pasta to mimic the weight and sound of Legos in a bag, seal the box back up, and return it to the Target store. This is a nationwide investigation. At least 70 thefts.
70?
Totaling $34,000. And if you can imagine how much like a Death Star Lego set costs, it's like $500.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I wonder what the most expensive Lego set is out there. I'll Google it on the commercial break, but this guy got away with $34,000. He is in jail right now, awaiting the next steps in the prosecution. Police officials maintain a lighthearted but firm tone regarding the arrest. They say if your master plan involves swapping Legos for linguine, we can promise your plan will be cooked al dente.
Oh, well done.
So at least the police are having a little fun with it, but replacing the Legos with pasta and returning the boxes for cash.
Yeah.
I wonder, he got away with it 70 times.
I was going to say, so it's the same guy. This isn't like a ring where other people are doing it 70 times.
Same guy, and Target stores have said we are checking all of our boxes now just to make sure.
I was going to say, what if you went and purchased it and then you opened it up and got pasta?
Well, my sister's a big Lego collector. I sent her the story and I said, you didn't get any pasta, did you?
And she didn't.
So far, so good.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if you can check out Legos or not, but you know, the Library of Things at the St. Louis County Library has just about everything you can imagine. So I'd be surprised if there aren't Lego sets. I mean, you can actually check out musical instruments if there's something that you're wanting to learn before maybe you go and buy a guitar, or a GoPro camera. Maybe you're going on vacation and you want to get great video, but you don't want to go and buy a GoPro camera because you don't think you'll use it that much. You can actually check one out at the St. Louis County Library. I'm talking about binoculars, pickleball equipment, all sorts of games, portable projectors, and more. So if you're having a birthday party for Finn and you want to do like a big screen outside, you don't have to go buy a projector. You can actually check one out. It's a perfect thing for a one-time project or to try an item before you buy it. And you can explore the entire collection and maybe even discover your next new thing at St. Louis County Library. You can learn more at slcl.org. Coming up, Mike Ward joins us to, of course, talk wine.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. You know how spring works in St. Louis. One week you're running the furnace, the next week you're flipping on the air conditioner. It's weather whiplash, and your HVAC system feels it too. That's why spring is the perfect time to have the experts at Premier Heating and Cooling check things out. Their technicians go through 5 years of training well beyond industry standards. So when they perform a tune-up, they're making sure your system is running safely, efficiently, and ready for whatever the next St. Louis weather swing brings. If your furnace or air conditioner is older or starting to struggle, Premier can help with that too. They offer financing options that make replacing your system far more manageable, and a new unit can mean better comfort and lower energy bills all year long. So whether it's a quick tune-up or time for an upgrade, Call the team that knows how to handle St. Louis weather. 636-916-1122, premierheatingcooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Every day another adventure. Our greatest discoveries come when we stop searching. Beneath the endless sky, away from the stress of work, the answer to the ancient Zen mystery. The sound of one hand clapping. Take a trip in an RV from Byerly in Eureka.
For the rest of your life, you gotta be there. Byerly RV.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
You know, that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
John Londoff Jr. here, president of Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. On behalf of myself and the entire team here at Londoff Auto Group, we want to congratulate the Big 550 KTRS on 30 years of being the talk of St. Louis. Congratulations on 30 years from your friends at the Johnny Londoff Auto Group.
I'm Bob Hardcastle. Listen to my Money Talk radio program every Sunday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. on the Big 550, where we discuss your money in an easy-to-understand manner. We have interesting guests, chat about money. We try to help you feel more comfortable with your money by talking about the investment market. Join me. I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Money Talk, Sunday morning at 8 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Carney, Buck.
Friday on the Carney and Buck Show, a cavalcade of stars. We'll have Tom O'Keefe, Laura Hediger, Michael Chiklis, Dennis Brown, Aaron Lapidus, and we'll play Know the Show. It all starts at noon.
John Carney, Julie Buck. Weekdays at noon on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Well, you know, I'm always excited when I'm in the studio with Mike Ward, but recently he has just been bringing in guest after guest with him, and today we have a very special guest. Liz Sawyer is Chief Marketing Officer at Four Hands, and that is a local brand with a lot to celebrate. Good to see both of you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Liz, how long have you been with Four Hands Brewing?
So I've been with the company actually 10 years now, so
that is kind of crazy.
It's happened fast, that's for sure.
So citywide is kind of the go-to a lot of times that we talk about because it's more than a beer.
Yeah.
I mean, and celebrating 10 years. So let's start with like a little history of Four Hands. Yeah. How many beers did it start with in the beginning, and what year was that?
So we opened up in 2011 with a handful of other prominent St. Louis breweries as well. So it was a big year for beer back then. And I mean, we probably had maybe 6 beers we started with, really to kind of just see what was going to work, you know. It was a really exciting time back then, and we just got really good energy and excitement from the city of St. Louis. So we were like, all right, we have something special here. So, 5 years later, we had to look at our portfolio and decide what was missing that we weren't serving the community with. And not only did we need an American Pale Ale, but we also thought that it was now time to say thank you to St. Louis and show St. Louis exactly what St. Louis means to us as a company, people, and a brand. And so that's when Citywide was born.
Yeah, and it is, as I mentioned, more than a beer. You guys are celebrating 10 years, and with every Citywide purchase, how much money goes back into the community?
Yep. So we work with 4 nonprofits a year. So we worked with over 40 nonprofits over the past 10 years. And so we give $1 per case back to the St. Louis community, which is super exciting this year to announce that we have surpassed $450,000 back to the St. Louis.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What did you kind of think you guys would do in the beginning? I mean, did you ever think that this would still be going 10 years later and you would have donated almost $500,000?
I don't want to say no, but I think with us and with this brand, it's always been the sky's the limit. The Citywide program is not a one-size-fits-all. We work with our nonprofits on what they could gain value from this program and vice versa. How can we work together to fulfill your mission through the sales of this beer? So it really is a pretty special thing. We say all the time Citywide is the heartbeat of Four Hands because it means something more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a really good beer.
It is a good beer.
How did you describe, Mike, the flavor profile of Citywide?
Well, it's so approachable, and it's not overly bitter, or it's not over or high in alcohol. It's moderate, it's balanced, and you can have it with food. I was just looking at the can, which I love the design of the can, and I'm glad that you can kind of...
Is that the 10th anniversary can we're looking at right there? It's gold? Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's really cool.
You got to take a
Yeah,
look.
I want to see this.
I love the fact, I come from a majority wine background, so I'm always thinking about food pairing, and you have, the pairings on the side of it. You really bring in sort of an aspect for the consumer of, even if they've never had your beer before, they're going to know what to do with it.
Right. It's something we started back when we opened the brewery, and it's just been fun, and people look for it, so, yeah.
And we'll get back to Citywide in a second, but you mentioned the brewery. That tasting room is fantastic. It's an arcade. It is just a fun spot. You have bands all the time, but you're more than that now. You have how many locations? You've got the district.
Yeah, so we're down at the district in Chesterfield, and then we have a location in Kirkwood, so right off Argonne.
With Peacemaker, right?
Yes, with
Which
Peacemaker.
Is delicious as well.
And then we joined in a partnership at the airport, too. So we're at the St. Louis airport, which has been fun to just share a brand with, whether you're local or traveling in and out.
And it's not just beers. You guys do seltzers. And give us kind of a list of the portfolio.
Yeah, so of course we have, our Four Hands brand of all different types of beers that anybody can enjoy. But then we also have a distillery. So 1220 Spirits is our distillery, where gin is really our main flagship of that brand. We have a small batch Withered Oak, which is whiskey and bourbon that we do, which is really a passion project of ours as well. And then we go into canned cocktail. So we have a whole canned cocktail line. We actually just released this new brand called Drip, and it is a hard lemonade, 7%. It is so good. It will be the drink of the summer. So that's available now at all of our locations as well. We're really excited about that brand.
I mean, you guys are just constantly creating. Is there
innovation?
Right?
Yeah,
but is
new
there
innovation
ever a time where you guys try something like, oop, that didn't work?
I mean, there are. We don't really like to talk about those times. But I think occasionally.
It's just us. Give us all the details.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But that is the key. It's like it's
Mm-hmm.
okay if something doesn't work, but then what's next? We follow the industry trends very closely. We get this data, this IRI from Nielsen that helps us understand, like, what does the consumer want? And to us, we feel it's our job to deliver that. So,
and you do.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Is what I would say.
Hope so.
We're talking to Liz Sawyer, who is the Chief Marketing Officer with Four Hands Brewing Company. And congratulations, because this is a big deal.
Well, I was just about to say, because you're all about innovation, you can really change and sort of, change to the industry and people's palates. So that always gives us something to talk about on our show, because we've had Kevin on several times. It's always fun. But new products, new kickoffs, or different types of products like the canned cocktails and the spirits, always something we appreciate talking about and making sure the listeners know where they can, find your products all the time. Yeah.
And lots of fun things happening this year to celebrate Citywide because it is 10 years. And so you're kind of doing an anniversary thank you tour.
Yes.
Tell me about that because I think that's also a great idea.
So at the end of the day, Citywide wouldn't be what it is today without the people in St. Louis getting behind it because it is a St. Louis brand. And so we really wanted to build this little tour just to say thank you by offering different experiences. So we love bringing different experiences to anything that we do. So we're like, let's partner with 10 local businesses and say, hey, let's do something fun with Citywide. Are you in?
And then they all were, weren't they?
And then it went crazy, and sky was the limit on that project too. And so we are in the midst of all these Citywide collaborations.
Which is so fun. And I think that's what's great about St. Louis's food, wine, beer, liquor scene, because everybody really does come together. It's not necessarily a competition. When we talk about all the great breweries that we have, everybody seems to work for each other and cheer for each other.
Absolutely. And we need that to happen.
Yeah.
It's very important just for the health of not just the beverage industry, but St. Louis in general, and when I look at who we partnered with for this specific project, it really was just about bringing something that maybe worked with Citywide into what, High Point is doing, or Peacemaker, Blue City Deli. We have a list that you can also find on our Instagram that just is kind of the roadmap to these Citywide collaborations. But we were really able to be creative and have some fun.
Let's talk about some of these. Sugar Fire Smokehouse.
Yes.
Tell me what you did with them.
So we made a barbecue sauce, which is amazing. The team did such an awesome job developing this recipe for that. And Sugar Fire is helping us celebrate by offering every Wednesday in April a Citywide collaboration. It's a pork steak, of course, with the barbecue sauce that you can get every Wednesday at all locations. And then this barbecue sauce is sold at all of our spots as well, but then Schnucks is bringing it in, and we're working on other retailers as well.
Now, is there just a tablespoon of Citywide beer in there?
There is beer in there.
There is?
Oh, yes. I think there's more than a tablespoon, but anybody can use it, you know. So, but the team, again, Sugar Fire just knocked it out of the park, and it's really good.
One of my other favorites, Clementine's Creamery, which, when you go to that, there's like a Cabernet chocolate, Mike. It's so good. It's,
you got to try that.
Naughty and nice. You have the naughty that maybe has a little alcohol in it, and then you have the nice if you're not 21. But you guys also did a fun collab with them.
Yeah, we did. So again, their development team came up with a Citywide syrup that they were able to put inside the ice cream. And it tastes like Citywide ice cream. It is so good. It's so interesting. I've never had a beer ice cream before, but that's sold at all of their locations. We're also selling it in our tap rooms as well, but
and
another
that's not
fun
like
collab.
A root beer float. This is actually a syrup that has the ice cream tasting like Citywide.
Oh, yeah. It's all mixed in. Yeah, just a scoop of ice cream, and it does the trick.
Okay, you also have a fun little box over there. What is that?
Yeah, so with High Point, we decided to do a Happy Meal. So you can go to their locations while supplies last, and then we came up with this super cute collab koozie as the toy, for a Happy Meal.
Because you have to have a toy in a Happy Meal.
Yeah. And then it comes with a 12-ounce Citywide. So Jordan, who's our creative director, had fun just kind of digging in and creating all different types of versions for the collab. So this is a fun one.
Okay, and then there's also a calzone.
Yes. Sauce on the Side did a Citywide calzone, Strike Zone calzone that is braised the bratwurst in Citywide. And then we did a really cool, unique collaborative box with them also, which is just so exciting. And any calzone that you do order, you're going to see that collaboration box. But I definitely recommend the Citywide Strike Zone. But that will be a special through April. And then we're going to do some more fun things with them throughout the year.
And then we got to wrap things up with Peacemaker, lobster and crab, because it is, you can't go wrong with that. But then you guys did something fun with them that's not just the lobster roll.
Yeah, which was so interesting. So Heather, their chef, came up with a Citywide cream, cheese spread that is delicious. And then she used our spent grain from Citywide and made crostinis out of it. So it's a nice special dish that you can get at our Kirkwood location.
And so you kind of mentioned one of these is going through April. Are they all have just a limited time, or we can get on board with some of these for the next year to celebrate?
Yeah, I mean, April is definitely the time to try it out. You know, some are going to be until supplies last, and then we have more collaborations coming as the year goes on. So April is just kind of the big kickoff. Yes.
Yeah, it is so good, and it's such an honor to have you here. And again, I mean, you guys have donated more than $400,000 back here to the city.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I really feel like, you know, without Citywide, you know, we would have come up with something to do, of course. But the fact that Citywide is really our mission brand, but the opportunity and the people that having Citywide has brought to us as now lifelong friends. You know, it's, you know, you can be a Citywide recipient and get that $1 back per case, but it really is so much more than that. And that really is what keeps us going and, you know, helps just kind of continue to build just brand awareness to what Citywide does.
Yeah. If people have never been to your tasting room or any of, I mean, they can also pick up Citywide or any of your beers at every single store in town now, right?
I mean, you guys
are everywhere.
Easy to find.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing that I like that maybe people forget is you can do a growler of your beer, right?
Yeah, if you bring a growler in, you can definitely do that.
And do you do kegs as well for parties?
We really keep that just to cans.
Yeah.
Cans is really the easiest way to go, and then you can kind of get more options with that as well. But if you come to any of our breweries, we have all our beers on tap all day, every day. So,
and it's just a lot of fun. And I know the main tasting room, you guys have music. You have music out at the district as well?
So we have music at Kirkwood Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. So
Got it.
If you haven't been to Kirkwood, it has a really nice patio and an all-weather room that is great just to bring the family out and listen to some tunes. And then we have music downtown as well. But yeah, not at Chesterfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's always so much fun. And again, such an honor to have you here. Congratulations on the 10th anniversary of Citywide, a great beer doing great things. But that's what you guys have been doing at Four Hands since the beginning.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. It's so awesome to have the opportunity to share our message, so I really appreciate it.
Well, and that's what the Big 550 is all about. We like to keep it live and local, and so we are happy to have you as part of this family.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
4:31. Let's get a check of traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi, we had a flurry of accidents earlier this afternoon, but right now we are accident-free and the roads are quiet. 70 West is heavy from Natural Bridge to 270. 64 East is slow around 170. And in Illinois, 64 East is busy at 255. This traffic report is brought to you by the Quarry at Crystal Springs Golf Course. The Quarry at Crystal Springs delivers a convenient and affordable golf course that is a true test of any player's game. 4 sets of tees will allow players of all abilities to choose the course length that will best suit their enjoyment. Visit them today. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
For all of your travel needs, you go to the best travel agency in the world. Granted, I'm a little biased. Altair Travel and Cruises. They'll take you wherever you want to go in style. They'll handle all the details. You handle all the fun. Don't go to the Googles. Don't make that mistake. It all starts at Altair Travel and Cruises on Brentwood Boulevard, 314-968-9600. Anywhere you want to go, let Altair Travel take you. AltairTravel.com.
The big, beautiful tax bill passed. Do you know how these changes will affect your financial plan? What changes has your financial advisor made to take advantage of these opportunities before they expire? Join me, Kevin Lloyd, for my next tax workshop, 314-641-1010. Learn how these changes can benefit you and your family. 314-641-1010.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPLA, registered investment advisor, member FINRA, SIPC.
You know, that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
Now, a message from KTRS President and General Manager Mark Dorsey.
If you look to the east of the Gateway Arch from St. Louis, you'll see a blinking light in the sky that translates a signal of KTRS, the Big 550, to radio listeners across America and beyond. From the cornfields of Belleville to Westport Plaza and across the region, KTRS has been a friend and companion to many for 30 years. As families gather around radios to share experiences, listening to the latest news, talk shows, and sports, we could be in the background or foreground, but we've got to know each other, and you became much a part of our lives as we do yours. KTRS has been with you during the good times and bad. You invited us into your homes, your cars, your trucks, your businesses, and on and on. This month, KTRS is celebrating a milestone of broadcasting to millions of listeners for 30 years. As we celebrate our 30th year, I want to thank you, our loyal listeners, our wonderful advertisers, and the many friends and partners who continue to support our mission. Live local radio and being locally owned and operated has been our mantra for 30 years. Of being the talk of St. Louis, the Big 550, KTRS.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550, KTRS.
I can get to sleep. I think about the implications of diving into deep.
That's a good song right there. Have you seen this? Uber is launching Uber Golf. At first I thought, is it April Fool's Day or is this real? But just in time for spring and summer, Uber is launching this new way to get to and from the golf course or the driving range. The Uber X and XLs can be reserved up to 90 days in advance to work around customers' upcoming tee times. The cars will fit either 2 players and their clubs or 4 players and their clubs, and they're also partnering with Top Golf to offer discounts on their driving range bays. So
Uber Golf.
Uber Golf. First there was Uber, then there was Uber Eats, and now there is Uber Golf.
Let's be honest. Going out with a foursome of the guys or the gals.
You probably need an Uber.
A lot of Mick Ultra.
Yes,
drunk.
Absolutely. So
golf carts.
I think it's pretty smart. The HGTV founder just listed his Georgia mansion. $42 million is what this house cost. And get this, there is a chocolate making room and a 3-story closet.
Three stories.
There's a chef's kitchen. I guess even in the closet you can see like the Atlantic Ocean.
It's a little extravagant.
You think? Yeah.
Just a little.
Kind of crazy. It's called Low Tide, the couple's Sea Island abode, and it spreads across 11,000 square feet of space, 5 bedrooms, 9 full bathrooms. The waterfront property also boasts sweeping views of the Atlantic Ocean, and it just looks ridiculous. in some ways.
I want to own a house someday that has a name.
Well, you can name yours now.
You know? What's the name of the ranch on Dallas? Was it South Fork? These people, Ken Lowe, founded HGTV, Home and Garden Television. Low Tide is the name of the house.
Yep. So in the early 90s, he pitched the idea for this network to Scripps board of directors, later signed a $25 million budget for Ken to start. The network officially launched in December of 94. And, I mean, think about it. How many shows have you watched on HGTV? How many careers
have they launched?
Yeah.
Like now they're part of Discovery, right? Maybe?
I forget how it was, and then didn't HBO kind of take over a few?
Yeah.
I don't know where it all lands anymore, but I thought that was interesting.
Huh. We took a vacation out to, I went to a wedding in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
And that is near, what is it, Captiva and Sanibel.
Mm-hmm.
And we went for a drive and had dinner in Captiva. Probably the coolest, like if money was...
No object,
I'd probably live in Captiva. And
What is it that you liked about it?
It just seemed like all the houses were big and like stately, but they were right on the beach. And your sun sets right there. It's not like on the Panhandle where, the sun will set, on land. It sets right on the ocean there. But every house that you drive past has a funny name to it, like how everybody names their boats.
Start that.
Couldn't you
in
just do that?
Newtown.
I could just do that.
Yeah. I mean, why do you have to be...
My regular house.
Yeah. I mean, people name their cars all the time. We've named the RVs. Why not name your house?
Does this RV have a name, Heidi?
It does. Big Red.
Big Red.
Oh, yeah, Big Red. There is a really nice house in Newtown, the nicest house there. It's called the Dove House.
Okay, why?
I don't know. I don't know why. I'll have to ask my sister.
There's some doves there.
And I would say there are several houses in Lafayette Square that have a name.
That have names?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what should I name my house?
Well, I've only been there.
The Gilbert House.
The Gilbert
Twice.
House.
We'll think about it.
Well, Bert's Bees. Bert's Beehive.
Well,
that's a
chapstick.
Right? But that's a play on the chapstick.
Is it?
Bert's Beehive.
But I mean, is
house.
No.
You're not Bert.
You're not, yeah, why?
Gilbert.
Oh, you're right.
If you had to explain that, no.
Gil's guest house.
Connor, let's take a break.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Heard a great story about the window store the other day. Larry Thornton, the owner of the window store, 314-739-0002 or WSWindow.net, told me a story. He had a customer call him up and say that he wanted to replace his white vinyl windows with darker windows. And so, of course, Larry took care of him. So now they're all darker and sort of brown in color. Looks beautiful. They're energy efficient. There was no upselling. They're great quality windows, and Larry Thornton and the window store took care of him. That's what he does. The price is extremely reasonable, better than the national companies because there aren't the layers of middle management. The window store has been around for 38 plus years. Proud sponsor here at the Big 550 KTRS. Windows, and don't forget about doors. Doors can get really expensive real fast. That's why you want to go with a company you can trust. Installation, price, selection, quality. The window store. Window store. WSWindow.net. 314-739-0002. WSWindow.net.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not
not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STATION25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the control option mindset featuring the lifetime and generational income maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at the Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
Tomorrow is Record Store Day, a day to celebrate the brick and mortar stores dedicated to music. Tom Paparay is the man behind Vintage Vinyl in the Loop. He's joining us to discuss the fun holiday. Welcome back.
Hey, now, how you doing?
I am fantastic. Are you ready for the big day?
We're going to have a musical day on the Del Mar Loop.
I called your wife earlier about something completely different. She'll be on the show next week, but she said she was picking up cupcakes for the event.
Oh, my wife loves to hand out pink-colored cupcakes to all the folks that come in the store, and I can't stop her.
I think that's a great idea. Before we get to like the events tomorrow, how many records do you guys have?
You mean in the store?
Yes.
Multitudes I can't even begin to, count.
I know you could just spend hours in there searching. It's fantastic.
It's, I want to think that for St. Louis people, it is a musical safe space, as the young folks would say.
I love that.
And we're all so familiar with it. We've been there hundreds of times. But is there a basement at Vintage Vinyl? Is there a back room? Is there a cool space that has cool stuff that we are not allowed to see?
Well, there's no basement there because it used to be the Varsity Theater.
Oh, yeah.
And there's but we do have a room where we have certain stock, but I would say by and large anything that we have in that room makes its way out into the, general floor.
Yeah. What have people been coming in for lately?
Everything. I tell people that are a bit older that they would be surprised how much Frank Sinatra we sell to people under the age of 30.
Really?
Absolutely. We sell more Elvis. No, we sell more Sinatra to that age group than we do Elvis Presley.
That is so fascinating. What about special releases? Do you have any tomorrow?
Oh, I can't even begin to count how many we have. I mean, each year with Record Store Day, basically not only the indie labels, but the major labels as well, basically, present what amounts to limited edition records that only the brick and mortar stores are going to be carrying.
Yeah.
You're not going to find this at a big box retailer.
And you've been in business for how long now?
I've been in the music business for 51 years. So, yes, I started at the age of 5.
Of course you did.
So, but you've seen vinyl go out of style, out of favor for cassette and CD, and even, our iPods. But now it's made a resurgence. How does that make you feel? Tell me the emotions of seeing vinyl kind of go away to seeing it roaring back.
Washed in justification.
Do you think it sounds better than any other medium?
I know it sounds better. On those occasions when I would be in a club in St. Louis DJing, let's say somebody before me is doing their best with a laptop, and then I come on and I drop a really well-made 12-inch reggae of soul or jazz or something like that. It's a different sonic wallop.
Yeah. It's a great way to describe it. I mean, I love sitting in my room listening to vinyls. I did it when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, and now I'm doing it again at 52. I know a lot of musicians stop by before a show. Who's been most surprising to you that somebody was just in looking at records?
Gosh. Say something like Marilyn Manson coming in for an in-store, treating their customers really, really nice. Their fans just being real sweet, and me walking and saying, "Boy, is there anything we can do for you?" And he kind of hopefully says, "Well, I think my guys and girls were wanting to do some shopping."
Oh.
Wow.
Well, come on in.
What else do you have going on for Record Day tomorrow? I know there's going to be cupcakes. Anything else?
There's going to be cupcakes. There's going to be joyous faces. There's going to be a line around the store when we open at 9. And we are going to be featuring the DJs on a new online station here in town that's called my mind is at a loss. But anyway, it's Community Radio STL.
Got it.
It's a group of people that at one time were on another community radio station.
Yeah, is this kind of is this the replacement for KDHX?
I think it's going to be hopefully the resurrection of KDHX.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
And those were some people that just did great programming, did it for the love of the music, and we're going to be featuring them on the turntables all throughout the day.
All right. And any live music?
No.
Okay.
But maybe.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Well, Vintage Vinyl is in the loop. It's open every day. You can also do a little shopping online, vintagevinyl.com. Tom Paparay, it's great talking to you. Thank you.
Have a musical day.
All right, it's 9 minutes before 5 o'clock. Captain Paul, how's traffic?
Heidi, the latest is a crash on 70 East before Zumbel, blocking the 2 left lanes with a stop-and-go jam back to 370. Estimated clearance time is 5:25. 64 West is crowded in Lake St. Louis. 64 East bogs down around 170. 370 West is congested from St. Louis Mills to 141. And in Illinois, 64 East is heavy from 255 to 157. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Are you tired of looking at the same faded walls in your home or office? Are you ready for a change? Call Mike Ruffino and his team at Ruffino's Painting, specializing in interior and exterior, commercial and residential painting. They'll take the time to get to know you, your space, and your expectations to ensure they create the atmosphere you're looking for. Whether it's a simple recoat, a color change, or a complete makeover, you'll work with them together to achieve your desired results. Give them a call or visit them, or call 636-655-0820. Ruffino'sPainting.com. Ruffino's Painting. They're a cut above the rest.
When you're driving the lane, you've got to stay in control, and the same goes for your car. When the unexpected happens, breakdowns, engine trouble, costly repairs, CarShield has your back so you can keep driving without missing a beat. Don't get benched by expensive car repairs. Join the winning team with America's #1 auto protection company, CarShield. Call 800-861-6176 or visit carshield.com today. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File in the Credit Karma app.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
This has been the talk of St. Louis for 30 years, and we aren't stopping now. We are the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis. Depend on it.
I mentioned this yesterday, but Mizzou is making basketball history with its recent transfer. KTR Sports Director Brendan Weesey is back to talk a little sports. Tell us about Bryson Tiller.
Bryson Tiller, former 5-star recruit, Heidi, coming over from the Kansas Jayhawks. And you said it, history, because there has never been a transfer that has gone from Mizzou to KU or KU to Mizzou directly. Now, some folks might remember Parker Brown. His brother Christian Brown was a very good player in KU. Parker ended up transferring from Mizzou to Santa Clara and then to Kansas, but not directly. So this is the first time it's ever happened in the border war.
But, addendum, this is musical chairs these days in college sports. You know, you're on a different. Have we had a guy that's been on a different team all 4 years yet?
You mean
just transferring in and out of?
Well, there's guys that are the kid that they got from Tennessee is going to be on his fourth school in 4 years. That happens all the time. Yes, yeah. I thought you meant has anybody stayed for 4 years anymore?
Yeah. Better question.
That does happen. Trent Pierce is going to be back at Mizzou for a fourth year, so it does happen. Not as frequently, certainly, as it used to. But this kid's going to be huge, Heidi. I think
that's what I was going to say. We're talking about the history being made, but what does he bring to the game?
Yeah, he brings, I think, a lot. He brings immediate elite defense and rebounding, which is critical. And then the offense is a work in progress. But as he told our own Eli Hoff yesterday, our Mizzou insider, he told Eli he expects to go to the NBA draft next year and he wants to be a top 5 pick. And he thinks Dennis Gates has the blueprint to get him there. So that's really good to hear. And you love to hear that confidence. Hey, that means Mizzou would potentially have 2 lottery picks because you assume Jason Crow, the great freshman, is going to head in that direction as well. So there's a lot of momentum around this roster just in the last few days. There are still a few pieces to add. Interesting that T.O. Barrett, who hit the portal a couple of weeks ago, there's some rumor and hearsay he took down his social media post announcing his transfer.
Staying?
So some are reading into that maybe T.O. is going to hang around. I think that'd be great, but nothing official yet.
A rumor is going around. UNC, North Carolina, lost their head coach, and they had a very prominent decommitment who actually knows a prominent Mizzou commitment. Any truth to those rumors?
They're spinning. They are spinning.
So you have heard this?
Yes, I've heard them as well. And at some point, you run out of money. And I can't imagine that Mizzou right now is going to be shopping in the high-rent district much longer. So,
is there a salary cap in college sports?
They're supposed to be.
Yeah.
All of that, it's just hard to know what's being enforced and what is NIL, what isn't it. Again, NIL is supposed to be separate from the revenue share money, which you're able to directly pay to these players. The NIL is separate, and that is, again, what is intended, what was originally intended for, which is you as an athlete, almost as a spokesperson in a way for a business, and it can't be directly pay for play, but it's all fairly confusing now, and I think there's a lot of loopholes and a lot of programs trying to circumvent these rules. So we'll see, but for now, it does appear like Mizzou's class is starting to wind down. So if they were to go out and get another 5-star kid, that would be tough to do.
Yeah. While we're talking money, did you see that Nafisa Collier, St. Louis native, is signing a 1-year, $1.4 million Supermax contract with the Minnesota Lynx? She's the 3rd player in the WNBA to sign a Supermax deal, which is pretty exciting.
She has. She's been phenomenal, and everything that she's done, she has earned. And it sounds like, by all accounts, we're in for a real banger of a WNBA season on the way. I think there's going to be a lot of excitement and intrigue. Hopefully Caitlin Clark's 100% healthy and her Indiana team is ready to roll. So
they've got quite a few stars around her. Real quickly, Cardinals travel today for a 3-game series. Can Jordan Walker keep this streak going?
We'll see. He's got an 11-game hitting streak. Can he make it 12? It's a Houston team that is not great, but they do have a few superstar hitters down there. Jose Altuve will eventually be in the Hall of Fame. Yordan Alvarez is maybe the best left-handed hitter in baseball nobody talks about. So they'll be tough tonight. Kyle Leahy on the mound for the Redbirds, and we'll see if the Cardinals have been fun to watch without question here so far.
One more question for you: is Live Golf finished?
A lot of rumors swirling the last 24, 48 hours. We've heard varying accounts on what may be happening. I think a lot of people. I get asked all the time, is Live Golf even still around? I think Josh asked me that like a couple of weeks ago. Is Live Golf still a thing? And it is. And that's the fact that people even have to ask that question is a problem about the relevance of the league. It sounds like the Saudi Public Investment Fund is getting ready to pull their money by the end of the year. So then what do they do? I think this is going to be very interesting. They're playing down in Mexico this weekend. I want to see by Sunday what Bryson DeChambeau and Jon Rahm are doing, because I have a feeling they could be ready to pull out. And then that gives them a head start, because if what we've heard from the PGA Tour, what they've done for Patrick Reed, what they've already done for Brooks Koepka is right now, if you elect to come out, you have to serve like a 1-year suspension from the PGA Tour. So the sooner DeChambeau and Rahm say we're done, the sooner they can get back on tour. So that's something to watch for sure.
Yeah, what's coming up tonight?
Soccer Weekly tonight. We're talking World Cup. We're talking City. We're talking Ambush. They play in the MASL semifinals tonight out at Family Arena. Folks should head out there. It's going to be a lot of fun as the Ambush looks to advance to the championship round.
That is exciting. All right, we'll be listening. Thanks
Heidi.
Brendan.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis, Wildwood, De Pere, Columbia, and the world. Streaming live at KTRS.com.
I'm Mike Dubusky. Stocks ended the week on a major rally, and the average price for a barrel of oil is down in the low $80 range after President Trump announced earlier today that the Strait of Hormuz in Iran is now open to commercial traffic, though a blockade on Iranian ports remains in effect. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang.
This is a major deal, as reopening the strait has been a critical priority of this administration, as we have seen gas prices rise, still averaging more than $4 a gallon. But the question is, what is the real impact of this going to be? Because it's unclear if this is going to be enough for these major shipping companies to take the risk to transit through the strait without more concrete security guarantees. So still questions about what this means in practice.
Meanwhile, in Lebanon, a 10-day ceasefire is in effect, aimed at ending the violence between that country and Israel. This woman is one of the thousands eager to return to her home in southern Lebanon.
I was very, very, very excited. I missed my home a lot, not gonna lie. And we heard it on the news. We started shouting and screaming, started crying. We were very, very, very happy.
But earlier today, the Lebanese Ministry of Health announced a person died while on a motorcycle in southern Lebanon from an Israeli strike. The singer David arrested in connection with the death of a teen girl whose body was found last year in the trunk of his car. ABC's Alex Stone.
He's being held right now on suspicion of murder. He has not yet been charged, likely to come on Monday. The charges could be murder. The DA could decide on something else. Our sources today are telling us that the medical examiner, the ME here in Los Angeles County, had a tough time figuring out what the cause of death was because of the condition of her body. She had been in the front trunk of this Tesla that was registered to David for so long.
David, whose real name is David Burke, is being held without bail. You're listening to ABC News.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STATION25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. A 19-year-old man is facing charges in connection with a shooting earlier this week in North St. Louis that left one man dead and 3 others injured. Prashawn Thomas is charged on multiple counts, including second-degree murder and first-degree assault. The 4 victims were shot outside of Gateway Market near Garrison and Dr. Martin Luther King on Tuesday night. A St. Louis man is facing 30 years behind bars in a child sex crimes case. That sentence was handed down to 41-year-old Marshall Williams. Prosecutors say Williams, who pleaded guilty to producing child pornography, sexually abused a 5-year-old child back in 2024 and recorded the abuse on his cell phone. St. Louis County Executive Sam Page will be going on his international trade mission to London as planned. Yesterday, a judge approved a temporary restraining order that will prevent the St. Louis County Council and its chair, Rita Hurd Days, from assuming power while Page travels abroad. Page took legal action earlier this week to challenge the council's plan to assume leadership in his absence. Page had said if the county council would have been granted authority while he was away, he wouldn't go on the trip. House Minority Leader Tony McCombie addressed the Illinois Chamber of Commerce during Illinois Chamber Day in Springfield. The Republican leader told chamber members that there's still a long way to go in Illinois.
Minimum wage. You heard that in the campaign cycle. We already went to a $15 minimum wage. All of you had to raise your costs or your services, whether it's a service or a product. You raised that, and that certainly goes against affordability. Now they're talking about a $25 minimum wage. These proposals put businesses out of the state.
McCombie went on to say the House Republican caucus is committed to being a partner with the chamber, saying GOP members have come up with policies that strengthen the business climate. The Missouri Department of Conservation is hosting its annual Earth Day celebration today at the state capitol. This is KTRS's Steve Potter reports on upcoming St. Louis Earth Day events.
Ahead of the St. Louis Festival coming up on Wednesday, volunteers for the group Forest Relief will plant 600 young trees, meeting at 10 a.m. at City Tree Farm next to the Scott Joplin House. The St. Louis Earth Day Festival is billed as the largest of its kind in the Midwest, and this year will begin on Saturday the 25th at 11 a.m. and run until 5 p.m. on Sunday the 26th on the Muni Grounds in Forest Park. You'll find some 200 local businesses, organizations, and artists, all offering sustainable products, hands-on activities, and educational resources. There will be speakers and live music on the main stage, and the community stage will offer programming including wild bird shows, a recycling mermaid story time, and performances for kids. You'll also find the Earth Day Cafe, the climate education tent, a kids' balance bike course, roller skating, and a climbing wall, all organized by the local nonprofit Earth Day 365. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
Now this KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Missouri is continuing to see fewer initial unemployment claims. The Missouri Department of Labor reports that there were nearly 2,500 claims filed during the week ending on April 11th. That marks a drop of more than 50 claims from the previous week. This market report now brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturday mornings 9 to 11. Positive words from the president of Iran and President Trump had Wall Street jumping to end the week. Dow Jones up 869 points to close at 49,447. NASDAQ up 366 to finish at 24,468. S&P 500 set a record today, up 85 points to go above 7,100 for the first time. It closed at 7,126 today. Now let's check sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Cardinals are on the road in Houston tonight to take on the Astros. The Birds are 500 away from home so far this year. And St. Louis City SC is in Seattle tomorrow night to tangle with the Sounders. City will be looking to extend their point streak to 4 matches. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. 70 East is heavy from Zumbel to 94 as a result of 2 crashes. 64 West is crowded in Lake St. Louis. 64 East bogs down briefly at 170. 370 West is running slow from St. Louis Mills to 141. And in Illinois, 64 East is heavy from 255 to 157. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather, cloudy tonight. Spot storms will turn heavier around 9, possibly becoming severe. Overnight low of 50. Tomorrow, rain clears early, then sunny skies, much cooler, high of 60. Sunday is sunny with a high of 68. Warm up Monday with a high of 71 and highs in the low to mid-80s the rest of the week. Right now we have 81 degrees. The time is 5:09. I'm Sobey Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, I tell you what, we mentioned it earlier. Rick and Meredith Shaper from Dogtown Pizza are here today. We had told the story earlier, and somebody said, yeah, I ran into this kid who said he refused to eat Emos. We thought he was allergic. He said, no, my parents own Dogtown Pizza. He's just being loyal. Rick, Meredith, welcome back to the Big 550 KTRS, and thank you so much for your patronage on these airwaves the last 5 years. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us in.
And
it's
you
our
guys,
pleasure.
Good. What caught my attention just recently is another outlet decided, Rick, to ask you and your son to sit down and have a chat. There's a podcast out there, and I listened to it. And the gist of the conversation was he came to you straight from college and said, Dad, I'll give you 5 years, 5 of my good years.
Yes.
But after that, I'm going off and I'm making my own thing.
Yep.
You've got 3 kids. The other 2 sons are fully entrenched in the business.
Yep.
So what does your third son want to do?
Well, he graduated with an international business degree.
Not very smart.
Yeah, and he did get to do 2 study abroads, one in Spain, one in Australia. He's a traveler. But when he graduated, it was right when we bought our new building, and we were trying to 5X our business and really bring Dogtown Pizza next level for the next generation, my kids. And he's like, I'd love to have that on my resume, to me helping a family business 5X. And it just kind of fit with what he was doing. And that's how he said, I'll stay with you for a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
And the 5 years is up, though. Is he really going to fly the coop, Mom?
I don't know. He got married in September of 24. Him and my lovely daughter-in-law, Taylor. So after all these years, I have a daughter now instead of just 3 sons.
You're still outnumbered, though.
I'm still outnumbered. But I think things have slowly morphed and changed some. They travel quite a bit. Like their honeymoon was 9 weeks. They went to like 7 different countries.
Oh my goodness!
Like that's what he wants to do. Right now he's on a bachelor party in Utah, camping off the grid with 5 other guys, and that's like everything he wants to do.
That's why he won't get another job. It's because they're not going to let him come and go and travel.
This
so
is true. This
he's
is very
kind of
true.
using us too.
Right. Right. Yeah, he's a very smart kid. He lives well below his means so that he can travel. And I think at this point, I don't think he's looking for an out right away, but I know he wants to live abroad. And I think him and his wife go back and forth with that because they like to travel. They like having the family here to depend on while they're traveling. And then once they have kids, they know they would come back here because of family.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're at one point it was a 10-year plan to have kids, and it changed to 5 years. So they've been married a year and a half now.
And you're not asking any questions.
I'm not asking any questions
No.
Yeah,
until he comes and says, "Hey, guess what? I'm leaving. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good."
we just keep letting him go when he wants to go.
Yeah. So that he doesn't leave for good one time.
Right.
All right. Well, it was a really sweet piece about a family business, and that's what you guys are. You're coming up on your 20th anniversary, October 1st. Tell me, October 1st, 20 years ago, how you got started.
Yeah. 20 years ago, I still thought I was going to own a restaurant. And I said that from when I was 12 years old. I was going to own a restaurant.
Was it going to be pizzas?
It was probably going to be Italian.
Okay.
Yeah, pizza and Italian. And 20 years ago, I threw a big pizza party at my house, and I invited everybody I knew from the industry, friends, neighbors, everybody, to raise money for me to open a restaurant. And that night, I raised a whopping $0.
Oh. Okay. All right, fair enough.
But what sparked everything is my neighbor Joe is a firefighter, and he's like, I can't make it to your party. Will you put one of your pizzas in the freezer for me? And so I can cook it tomorrow. And so I froze a pizza before I cooked it, and he cooked it the next day. He's like, man, that was the best thing ever. And so literally 30 days later, I had another party, and I had a frozen pizza party, and I had 40 frozen pizzas, and I had the same people over. And that night, I sold all 40 pizzas, and I had orders for almost 40 or 50 more.
Wow.
And so literally over the next 20 years, I built this business brick by brick, pizza by pizza. Like from that day, I made 50 pizzas, and I sold them. And then I made 60, and then I made 80.
And doing it from your own kitchen at that point?
Right out of my kitchen at that point. So the first 6 months was in my kitchen.
How did you make regular dinner? Or did you just eat pizza every night?
Well, that's magic.
In the beginning, we did eat a lot of pizza.
Our boys were toddlers.
Yeah.
That's all my son eats is your pizza.
We didn't have the money to feed him anything else.
Right. We honestly didn't. All the money went into making pizzas and selling them. So, it really was like that.
Did you ever dream it would be this big? I mean, Dogtown Pizza is everywhere. You're even in, not even just in Missouri and
Gulf Shores,
Illinois.
Alabama.
Yeah. Josh talks about
Texas,
it all the time.
Yeah.
Illinois, Iowa.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, we pinch ourselves still sometimes. I mean, we're just regular people. Put our pants on one leg at a time like everybody else.
And better than one restaurant.
It's way better than one restaurant.
Can you imagine if you opened that restaurant? You'd be closed by now.
Yeah.
No, we were working nights and weekends and holidays, and we don't do that now.
I mean, right here locally in our own backyard, we'll make 2 million pizzas this year. Just this year.
So
which is
great.
amazing to us.
And I remember when I did a story for, I don't remember if it was Show Me St. Louis or just Channel 5 in general. And what stuck out with me is just how, it is fresh. You guys were cutting the mushrooms and the peppers and there's no, frozen ingredient going on this. Everything is so fresh.
Yep. We still slice fresh basil. We process our vegetables. So.
And how many pizza varieties do you have right now?
11.
11. Okay.
Meredith did that with kind of like a question mark, I think.
Meatball mozzarella is still around.
No.
It just got axed.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you guys will come up with new varieties every once in a while, throw them out here. That's how my favorite, the pepperoni peppercini, got started.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's in the hopper? What's on the kitchen table now? That are you still
I'm going to tell you.
making stuff
Are you?
at home?
I can't tell you.
Oh, I knew it! Because Meredith's turning away, is like biting her tongue a little bit. Yeah.
But we do, we try different things, and sometimes they stick, and sometimes they don't.
The hot chicken, buffalo chicken pizza, that's so good. Connor.
That one stuck.
Is always one. He goes, why don't they make a barbecue chicken pizza? I said, I don't know, I'll ask him.
We used to. And it was fantastic. It was so good, but it just didn't sell. The numbers were low, and the stores sometimes guide you. They're like, hey, what else do you got? This is our lowest seller. So it's not always me saying, hey, we're not just going to sell this anymore or whatever. You're at the store's mercy as well.
Yeah.
And no matter what we cut, there's always some kind of cult following, So we get phone calls, we get emails. What happened to the barbecue chicken? We can't get it. And it's like, sorry, if the stores don't want it, we can't.
Somebody
really
on the
make
text
it.
line missed your lasagna.
Oh, the lasagna was great.
Yeah, that kind of died during COVID because of. It was hard to get the containers. It was
so
it
many
was
things.
Weird. Couldn't get containers to put it.
And And then somebody else has a question. Ask Rich and Meredith where you love to go to pizza at a restaurant when you go out, or do you not?
Okay.
Yeah?
I got this. We eat pizza everywhere, not just,
At
you know,
home. Yeah.
we don't even eat it. We quality control eat at work off our employees' pizzas.
Yeah.
But here's where we like to go because we are true St. Louisans at heart. I guess our go-to is like Filoni's, Ferrado's.
Yep.
If we're into Neapolitan pizza, it would be like Pizza de Gloria on the hill.
That's a good one too.
We enjoy all pizza.
And you still live in the city?
We live in Dogtown. We'll never leave Dogtown.
It's a great neighborhood.
It's fantastic.
We can't be Dogtown Pizza and not live in Dogtown.
I would agree.
So.
We wouldn't live anyway.
Have you ever wished you would have made it Rich and Meredith Pizza or something else, or you've always been happy that it's Dogtown?
No, I think the name has helped.
Yeah.
It's catchy. It's memorable. Of course, everybody in St. Louis knows it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but-
it's a word you don't forget.
What
No,
about
that's
when
true.
you go to Kansas City or you've got pizzas in Texas and you got pizzas in southern Alabama? Do they say, what's Dogtown mean?
They do.
They do.
They do.
They do.
And
And
it just-
Dogtown's not an actual neighborhood. If you look it up, Dogtown's like a nickname. You know, Dogtown's actually made up of 5 actual neighborhoods, like what is it,
Cheltenham.
and High Point, and so it's actually 5 different neighborhoods.
I don't think I realized that.
Dogtown is actually like a slang name.
Yeah.
And I've heard of High Point. Nobody say, "Oh, I live in Cheltenham."
Right, exactly. They don't.
No,
they don't.
So tell me what it's like. You're making pizzas in your kitchen table, and then now you say we can't find pans for the lasagna, or you probably have somebody say, "Hey, the electricity's out," and you're not just making pizzas anymore. Now you're running a business out of a warehouse.
With how many employees, by the way?
We have 40 employees.
Wow. Yeah.
So do you miss the days where it was just Rick and Meredith?
No.
Slinging pies?
No. No, because I was making pies during the day and then still bartending at night to help pay the bills.
I'm going to tell you what's rewarding is, first of all, we're St. Louisans at heart.
Mm-hmm.
We love that our business is in the city. Our newest building we bought 4 years ago, and we brought it back from the dead. It was an abandoned old warehouse, and so we brought that back. And out of our employees, we just have a really great mix of people.
A lot of demographic.
From the Dogtown neighborhood. We have some inner city kids. We just have a great mix of people, and we love going to work. And that's what's rewarding to us is our kids hanging out in the office and
Kids they grew up with working there.
we wear many hats daily. It's HR one day. It's mom. It's father. It's friend. It's always different. So we just enjoy going to work and love what we do. It's not just making pizza. It's a really neat thing for us.
Yeah. Well, you guys do such a great job, and you give back so often. And here at the Big 550, we want to say thank you for that because you do a lot for the community.
No problem.
We try.
The Backstopper stuff, the Men's Group Against Cancer stuff, we always appreciate picking up the phone when we call on that. What's the future hold? Are the my three sons, are they taking over? What do you see? You're turning 20 in October. What do you see 20 years from now?
I think 1 to 2 of the kids will be running the business, I think.
Yeah.
Probably.
And
Probably.
where are you? Are you on a beach somewhere? Or are you still popping your head in?
Could
you let it go if they say, "All right, Dad, we got it here"?
Yes.
And then,
Now we could.
Look,
Years
ask
ago,
me
that
10
wouldn't have-
years ago,
Yeah.
you're not touching it. You can't buy me. This is mine. But, we feel
really
we've
started
made
about 6
something
years
and
ago,
we've created
letting go.
something. It's a great brand in town. And if the boys want to take it, they already run it where I,
They
I've
really
already
do.
cut the umbilical cord. So the hard part's done as far as mentally, like, leaving them in charge or something.
Yeah.
The trust is there. They hire, they fire.
Yeah, that
we
was
don't
the
do
big
any
thing
of
we
that.
did like 7 years ago. It's like, well, they're not really working for us; they're working for you. So why would we be the
Why
one
would we fire
interviewing
someone,
and
or-
hiring
Yeah.
people
And that's
when we're
when
not
the
working
kids
alongside
really
them?
started to flourish too, when I let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a little bit of both. How hard was it on your marriage in the beginning?
Extremely.
Yeah, and you made it
Extremely.
through it all.
It was
we
those
did.
first 5 years. You could tell her what you did.
Yeah, I mean, I was still bartending at Culpeper's in the Central West End and waiting tables. You know, the kids were still in school. And
Those were some great memories, though, weren't they?
They were. They really were. God, I miss Culpeper.
Yeah, I know, right?
But, you know, it was hard. I'd get up and go to work and then go home, shower, pick the kids up, and then go work all night till 1 o'clock in the morning and then get up and do it again. And it was tiring. It was exhausting. And we had no money. And, it really we maxed out credit cards. We almost lost our house. Literally almost lost our marriage.
Yeah.
You know.
So
but
what advice do you
fight
have?
And you know, you have to be there for each other. You know, I'm his biggest fan, and he knows that. He would never. When he came to me and was like, "I think I'm going to make pizzas," I was literally like, "Wow." All right, cool.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Here
like,
we go.
let's do this. And 20 years later, look where we are.
Wow.
You
I
know,
tell people to stick it out. Don't take no for an answer. Always keep your eyes looking forward. Never look over your shoulder, because that doesn't matter.
yeah, you can't change the past.
Whether
Yeah.
it's competition or life or whatever, don't look back.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you have that memory. Keep the memory, whether it's good or bad, but go forward, and don't take no for an answer.
Well, it's
Yeah.
a real St. Louis story. It's a family story, and
It's an inspiring story.
we talk about you all the time here at the Big 550.
I know. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
that.
We love it.
So thanks for coming in. We'll chat with you when it's the 20th anniversary, probably
Yeah.
in October. We'll have you back on.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
and when you do
absolutely.
come out with that new flavor, I want to be the first
Okay,
to know.
you got it.
And then
Yeah.
the 550 airwaves.
We'll
will be the
debut it
second
right
person.
here on
All
air.
right, now
How
we're
about that?
talking.
Rick
Yeah.
and Meredith Shaper, Dogtown Pizza. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
For all of your travel needs, you go to the best travel agency in the world. Granted, I'm a little biased. Altair Travel and Cruises. They'll take you wherever you want to go in style. They'll handle all the details. You handle all the fun. Don't go to the Googles. Don't make that mistake. It all starts at Altair Travel and Cruises on Brentwood Boulevard, 314-968-9600. Anywhere you want to go, let Altair Travel take you. AltairTravel.com.
It's Jill Farmer. Medicare is overwhelming. Parts, plans, deadlines. It's a lot. That's why so many of you turn to Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. Ryan breaks Medicare down in plain English, helps you compare options, and make sure you're not overpaying or undercovered. No pressure, no confusion, just clear guidance from someone who actually cares. If you're turning 65, already on Medicare, or helping a parent navigate it all, start with someone you can trust. For the right plan, call a Medicare man. 314-368-6808, MedicareManSTL.com. Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. You know how spring works in St. Louis. 1 week you're running the furnace, the next week you're flipping on the air conditioner. It's weather whiplash, and your HVAC system feels it too. That's why spring is the perfect time to have the experts at Premier Heating and Cooling check things out. Their technicians go through 5 years of training, well beyond industry standards. So when they perform a tune-up, they're making sure your system is running safely, efficiently, and ready for whatever the next St. Louis weather swing brings. If your furnace or air conditioner is older or starting to struggle, Premier can help with that too. They offer financing options that make replacing your system far more manageable, and a new unit can mean better comfort and lower energy bills all year long. So whether it's a quick tune-up or time for an upgrade, call the team that knows how to handle St. Louis weather. 636-916-1122, premierheatingcooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Dan Lang with Carter Pet Hospital, inviting you to join me every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. with the Animal Advice Show. We'll talk about everything regarding dogs, cats, and other domestic animals. We'll discuss nutrition, training, regular checkups, invite special guests, and of course, answer your questions. Join us every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. for the Animal Advice Show on the Big 550 KTRS, the Animal Talk of St. Louis.
Hey, St. Louis, temperatures are rising, and if your AC isn't blowing cold enough, trust the experts at AAA Home Services. For 56 years, they've been fixing it right the first time. Our expert technicians are qualified to work on any system with any issue. We can even perform your annual maintenance on your air conditioner before it gets too hot. And if you need an estimate on a new system, we can do that too. For 56 years, St. Louis has trusted AAA for heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200. Online at AAASTL.com. Call AAA. We're on our way.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. It's that time of year. We are very busy. That means we're selling vehicles faster than I can acquire them. We are aggressively purchasing unique, interesting, and pristine vehicles. I love to buy Corvettes, Vipers, Porsches, and the like. We buy luxury and performance vehicles daily. Got one to sell? Call us or hop on our site. Owe money on it still? No problem. We'll make the payoff and cut you an equity check. I'll buy classics and motorcycles too. We'll even buy entire car collections. I'll come to you if it's easier. We make it quick and simple. Of course, I've got great ones to sell too. All hand-picked by me, thoroughly vetted and serviced. So if you're buying or selling, give us a call or visit our site today.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
If you want to build your dream home in one of our most desirable locations, you better move fast. Hi, I'm Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes. Charlestown Landing in North St. Charles only has 6 lots remaining. We're celebrating with a closeout promotion you won't want to miss. Save half off, up to $25,000 in options, and up to $5,000 in closing costs. You heard that right. Big savings, limited availability, great location. Half off, up to $25,000 in options, and up to $5,000 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details. That's trhughes.com.
Stay connected with the Big 550 KTRS, streaming 24/7 online at ktrs.com or on the KTRS app.
Powered by JBL Financial.
Stream Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
It is 5:30. Time to check back in with Captain Paul. How's traffic moving along?
Heidi, we have 2 crashes out in St. Charles. There's one on 70 West past 94, blocking the 2 left lanes with traffic backed up to 5th Street. Estimated clearance time is 6:05. An accident on 70 East before Zumbel is blocking the right lane and causing a backup to Cave Springs. And 64 West is crowded in Lake St. Louis. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, a judge says only security-related work on the White House ballroom can continue. The rest needs to be approved by Congress. Royal Oaks, ABC News legal analyst, joins us with more on this story. So this seems like a little bit of a line here. Why security-related?
Well, what happened is that when Donald Trump said last year, I'm going to build a large new ballroom, 90,000 square feet, to replace the East Wing, he demolished the East Wing. And so then folks ran into court and said, this is terrible. He had to get congressional approval. And the federal judge agreed with them. But, of course, it was already destroyed. So now you got 2 parts. The judge is saying no ballroom, but you can build a bunker. Blast-resistant materials may be used. Drone-proofing may happen. But in terms of the fancy ballroom, that is on hold for now, according to the federal judge. And Donald Trump is saying, I'm going to appeal that up the federal court ladder.
So, Royal, I had read a story the other day that said that they're using this matter of national security, in quotes, as an excuse to do a lot of things. Like they canceled some wind projects off the East Coast as a matter of national security. And the ballroom was a matter of national security because there was a bunker underneath it. So what could they possibly, could they continue building above ground as a matter of national security?
No, it looks like what's going to happen is that a clear line is being drawn by the courts. What they're saying is you can't put up the large ballroom, but you can work on the underground stuff. And you're right to point out the national security angle. And the Court of Appeals even weighed in and said it's kind of vague. What does it really mean, this security exception to the rule that says you have to have congressional approval? And there is no clear answer. Bottom line is, above ground for the foreseeable future, if you go to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, you're going to see rubble, probably surrounded by a chain link fence. But what you're not going to be seeing is the blast-resistant material and the drone-proof bunker that is going to be built below ground. Ultimately, the U.S. Supreme Court may have to weigh in on this if they're interested in taking up the case, because the likelihood is that Donald Trump will lose not only at the federal trial level, but the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, and that will be his last stop to ask the high court for help.
What about Congress? Is there any way that he could go to them and they would actually pass it?
Well, sure. Congressional approval is a possibility. Republicans do, of course, control both the House and the U.S. Senate. It isn't quite as simple as a quick vote, though, because the law suggests you need regulatory review. You want the contractors and the architects and the engineers to weigh in on something as massive as a giant ballroom. Plus, public input is required under the regulations and under the law. And that can't happen overnight. You don't just snap your fingers and get that. So Donald Trump is hoping that all of that process really isn't necessary because of his arguments about national security. But for now, he has not gotten any approval from any level of the courts to go ahead and do the above-ground ballroom.
And Royal, I'm not an architect, and you're a lawyer, but is it possible to do this bunker stuff and then, if they get approval, plop the ballroom right on top?
Yeah, I don't even play an architect on the radio, but I think it's kind of difficult. What you could do is below ground stuff, and what we're hearing is that anything above ground simply is not going to happen. Now, obviously, an expert could come in and say, well, you can't really do one without the other being planned out thoroughly, but at least so far, Donald Trump is getting the green light to proceed with security-enhanced structures as long as it isn't the above-ground fancy ballroom.
Got it. And we'll see how that all plays out. Royal Oaks, ABC News legal analyst, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
You know, that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that